Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. I don't know what happened there. I was logging in backstage, and then the stream just kind of started by itself. That was fucking interesting, but it's all good. Fuck it. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboys and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly. Ah, this is the start of the fucking stream that is happening right now. It's Conference Championship weekend. We are here to talk some NFL, talk some fantasy. We are entering dynasty season, so we got to get you guys primed and ready for that. So we got a couple of hot topics tonight. I don't even know who the hell we got backstage yet. This is gonna be interesting as fuck. But first, we're gonna make sure that we pay these bills. All right, yo. GLD, ice yourself out with a GLD chain. Yo, let's check in with our homies on the yacht. God.
Mario Point GLD collab, nigga.
Yeah, they gun let off like, yeah, shot slide the board like, swing on the board like, beat up the board like, yeah, shot slide the board like, jump on the car.
We went with the Fabio ad that time. Yo, shout out to New York's own Demon Time Fabio Forum. Make sure you guys go ahead, head over to GLD, promo code GLDG Rum, because you a G. Get over there, ice out your neck with your favorite sports team, whether that is football, baseball, NHL, you name it. We got it over there. Also, we got the Marvel Studios line popping off over there as well. To also go with the Fabio Foreign line, So get on over there, head over to GLD, cop yourself something nice. Valentine's Day is coming up as well. I mean, cop you and the ladies something. Also want to shout out our homies over at Monkey Knife Fight. Promo code Rumboyz in all caps for a 100% match on your very first deposit. For 100% match on your very first deposit all the way up to $100. Get on over to monkeyknifefight.com. Promo code Rumboyz for all of your daily fantasy player prop needs. You can also download the app, available on iOS and Android. Also want to give a big shout out to our homies over at All 22. Promo code Rumboyz in all caps. Once again, take 40% off the subscription price. Utilize the the latest and greatest tools, as well as drafting a full 53-man roster. Think of it as your own Madden franchise mode, if you will, competing against your friends with a fantasy football twist. Shout to PFF. Shout out to all 22. We love you. Let's go. And then finally, last but certainly not least, link is in the description. Play our daily dozens over at Champions Round. Ladies and gentlemen, you could, with a $12 entry, you can turn 12 into 2,400 when you get 7 out of 12 props right on any of our daily dozen games. Head on over there to Champions Round. Go ahead and run up a bag. Without further ado, let's get into the cast and crew. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, obviously, because I know who's pulling the strings backstage, I know this man is here. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Drop the Mic FF.
What is up, Robbie? My computer is being stupid slow. It's been a crazy day. It's been a shitty day. So guess what I have to say to that?
Yup, I feel it. Yup.
Let's go.
Down the hatch, my guy. Down the hatch. I feel it. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I gotta bring this man up. It has been a minute, but he is returning back to his Rumboyz home. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pigs.
What up, y'all? Sorry, it took me a while to get back, but I'm back for an episode at least. I'm looking for the Ramboys though. I thought this was the Ramboys. Dicky, you know what I'm saying?
Freaky deaky, oh my gosh.
I knew it was going to take less than 10 seconds. I just knew it.
Yep.
That's what my wife says. It's only less than 10 seconds. She's always correct.
Less than 10 seconds and something completely inappropriate that probably has no business coming out of anyone's mouth comes out of Pang's mouth. Next up, representing TBQ Sports, give it up for David Gillespie.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? The look on Robbie's face when he realized the stream was going was almost similar to that when I thought I just farted, and it's a lot more than just a fart. I mean, that was just beautiful, honestly. It was so
Look,
awesome.
Here's the thing. I didn't even hit the button. Like I logged in and it just started by itself. I was like, what the
I came in thinking Robbie was going to tell me hurry up and start the button, and it was already 3/4 of the way through.
That's what I was gonna do. And I was like, already 30 seconds. Like, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. I had the vibe too that this was spontaneous. This was not planned. You know, it's like holy shit.
None of that was planned. I usually have a smoother intro than that.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, special guest of the evening, representing SGPN. Give it up for the homie JB. What's good, Justin?
What's going on?
Not much. How's everybody doing? Gentlemen and boys.
What's up, Brony?
Yes. You know, we out here. And we do have one more person backstage.
And he has to be last for obvious reasons.
This sounds painful, I guess, huh?
Give me a second before introducing this fucker. My God. He's the heel of the show. I think he's just here to fucking make my life miserable, your life miserable.
Definitely
anyone whose path he just crosses, he's just there to fucking just. Ladies and gentlemen, the man of mouth vomit, Taco TDS.
Bones Jones the GOAT, baby. Bones Jones the GOAT.
We're not even there yet. What are you doing?
Stop making me drink.
What are you doing? What are you doing? We're not even there yet. We haven't even gotten.
We're not even close.
What are you doing?
Hey.
What are you doing?
Hey.
I have the remove button. Don't forget that.
I've been
mute him. Just mute him. Just mute him.
Mike's about to have his finger on that fucking boot button all throughout the entire fucking show today.
I already muted him.
Bro, we're not even at that part of the fucking show sheet.
I will unmute
and here he is. He's just like, we're gonna skip fucking like 6 topics deep, bro. Like,
he's still talking.
Of course he is.
If Taco has to, he'll use some fucking visual aids like he did on that last show where he had Daniel Jones and he's
gonna run out of breath. He's gonna.
I'm gonna wait until he stops talking to unmute him.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rumboyz After Dark. Cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboys and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly.
My man's in Jerry's world right now. That is really the Seinfeld set right there. Is that
That's
not?
what I was laughing about. I was like, I can't believe he has that.
Apartment.
It's pretty
Ding,
expensive,
ding,
let me
ding,
tell
ding.
you.
Yeah, I'm like shit. I feel like Cosmo Kramer right now.
No.
Giggity giggity.
Oh God. Oh God.
I got a couple I
No.
can switch to here and there.
What's good? What's good, chat? What's good? I see we got Steelers Nation up in the house. It's like, where's the crew at? Look, man, we had a rough intro coming in. You ever fly into fucking LaGuardia? Like on a
This is
foggy, on
this is
like a
like flying
foggy.
Spirit.
Like yeah,
Oh,
just,
God,
yeah. The intro to the show was like flying spirit, but it's all good. It's Taco on time. Yeah, Taco is actually on time, believe it or not. Fellas, let's go ahead and let's dive right into the show. It has been a hell of a day, as many of you already know. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start off. I feel like because like we've all had a fucked up day, we should just start picking on each other early. So we're gonna start with our resident Chiefs fan. And we're going to kick off the show with Chiefs versus Bengals.
Let
It
me
is
go
the
get my
moment
knife.
that you've all been waiting for. We have been waiting to finally break down these games. We have been pretty much almost perfect as a channel up until this point. We did miss on one. We did miss on one game. Happened so long ago. Can't even fucking remember. Oh, that's right. Tacos Giants.
Yeah.
So with that being said, with that being stated, what are we thinking here? You got a 1.5 point spread, a 48 over under at this moment. At this moment. At this very moment, the Bengals, my closet team, are a plus 100 underdog. You know.
You okay there, Mike? You're not dying.
No,
on
I'm
this,
not.
are you?
I die every
Okay.
time I hear him say that.
Okay. Just checking
know.
on you, buddy.
Big Joe Shiesty. What are we thinking here, gentlemen? Feel free to talk it up, throw out any props. We already saw my TikTok where I dropped it like it's hot.
Who starts it, me or you want
You.
Taco to start?
You.
Oh, great! You really want me
no,
to
no.
start
Actually,
this
you don't
game?
start it. No, you don't start it. We'll let Taco actually start it off. Let's let Taco start off. No.
Okay.
All right. I mean, am I right, Mike, in that there was no injury designation on Pat
They took
Mahomes
him
this
off.
week?
They took him completely off the report today.
That is insane, if you ask me. Now, I don't know how well he's feeling. I haven't followed the story closely enough, and I think, Mike, you might be the best one to say it. But what's the reports on his actual ankle? Like, is he saying that he's in a tremendous pain? He's saying he's feeling good. Like, what is he saying?
He's playing coy. From what I've been
Yeah.
able to tell, he's playing coy. I did hear that a beat reporter said that if this was regular season, he'd be out 4 weeks.
Oh, for sure.
So let's just say that if he's saying if he's not in pain, he's a lying son of a gun.
Yeah.
But this is the goddamn playoffs, and this is to get to the Super Bowl. So suck it up, Buttercup, and play, motherfucker.
I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes is establishing himself, just that lore. He just continues to let that shit grow. And I think the beautiful part about this game is that, unfortunately, Joe Burrow has been one of those guys as well that's been developing his own lore. So
What do
this,
you mean, unfortunately?
I
Watch
feel
your
like-
mouth.
It's true.
Let him speak.
Yeah,
Robbie.
thank you.
I called that unfortunately right before that. Don't you ever disrespect Big Joe Shiesty.
I think this game is developing into one of those games of legacy where when you look back at their careers down the road, you're going to say, you remember when they met in back-to-back years and XYZ happened, and this is to go to the Super Bowl. Last time it was just go to the AFC Championship game. So there's even more stakes involved here.
They beat us in the AFC Championship game last year to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And they came back from 21-3. That was
Yeah.
legacy
Legit
game
comeback.
for sure.
We beat the Bills to get to play them last year.
Right,
Same
right.
thing.
Your
It's
shit,
the exact
Taco.
opposite. As
Know your shit, Taco.
I had it flipped. My bad. So that's even more for Mahomes understanding why he's not taking that injury designation. This man is going to have so much adrenaline and so much rage in this game that I can't bet against him.
Don't forget the Tortorol. Don't forget the toilet roll.
Yeah, I'm taking the
Always
negative,
comes
the
in
negative
clutch.
1.5. I'm
Shots,
taking the
shots,
money
shots,
line.
shots.
I'm not touching the over under because I don't know what we're gonna get out of this game points wise. I'm probably leaning towards the over, but I really think the Chiefs. I just have this gut feeling that Patrick Mahomes is gonna put on one of those Jordan flu games. He's gonna go out and finally beat Joe Burrow in the playoffs on one leg, and it's gonna go down as one of those legacy defining games.
You're cute. Okay, that was cute.
Love it.
Let's let a real analyst talk. What's up, Justin?
I'm
Joe
riding with
going down.
I'm riding with the Bengals, man. I bet the Bengals all through the playoffs last
Be
year,
a real analyst, like
including the
hold on.
Chiefs game,
Justin.
and that was an awful sweat out. That was one of those games where you're just like, oh, okay, we need to put this down for a minute. We need to recuperate and come back. That happened to me with the Jags. Thank goodness. I turned that off for like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes. Scored a touchdown. I was like, all right, cool. I can watch this again. This is like, chewable. This is digestible, if you will, right? For this game, I mean, I'm there with Taco. Honestly, it's going to be a great game, but I'm still leaning in favor of the Bengals, who are full steam ahead. Mahomes is going to tough it out. He's going to play, and we saw him yelling on the sidelines. No. Like, I knew this dude was not going to be sitting out this week. He was furious to be even sent to the locker room. It felt like, in his interpretations, like, it's disrespectful. Like, I ain't going no place. You know what I mean? And then, he throws the jacket and it's like, all right, kind of a Kyler Murray moment there a little bit.
It felt very Kobe Bryant, like I'm going back out there.
Sure. I was more leaning to Kyler Murray in like the little league sense. Like, no, I'm staying.
Oh,
right here. I'm not going
No,
anywhere.
that's disrespect.
It's fucked up.
Whatever. Anyways, they took
I feel like
him
he
back.
screams like that too. Kyler does,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the turn of conference.
Have you seen the Hard Knocks at all? I mean, my goodness.
Yeah. Seriously, though. Ain't that the truth?
I could not listen to that dude talk forever. I eventually had to turn this shit off.
I think with what we've seen from Mahomes though during the week, like social media, all the clips, the hop, skip, and jumps. He did a little pirouette. I think yesterday. I think he kind of caught on to that. I think he kind of caught on to a couple of those sky cams at practice. And I feel like that little smidge of like information, has it not moved the Bengals into dogs territory? Wasn't this even money to open?
So it started that night. It started Chiefs as a 2-point favorite. Then overnight it went to even. Then it went to Bengals -1.5. Now it's back the other way, -1.5.
Yeah, you're giving me plus money in this game. I'll take that side. I mean, the quarterback play on both sides is even. Yeah, the Chiefs are missing, Tyreek Hill from last year to this year. Obviously, it will be easier to hone in on Kelsey, but come on, like who's stopping him right now after what he showed us last week? You know what I mean? Like, he'll get his. It'll be a good game. I'm still taking the Bengals. I think they have the razor's edge. Like it's a tight one, but I feel like in totality, both of their defenses are middle of the run. They're not good. They're not great, but they can perform at a playoff level. I feel like the quarterback play is going to still be strong on both sides. You won't see Mahomes run as much. And yeah, we're going to see Jamar Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Hayden Hurst. They're going to do their thing. They're going to be moving the ball a lot. Sorry.
So
take another chug.
It's going to be some rough business throughout the show. Mike here.
Jamar Chase scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, as he should. What the?
So
sweating out hockey bets.
No, you're all good.
I'm watching
for
the
me,
game right
okay.
now.
So I'm not going to get into the sports betting aspect because that's too brainy for my remedial ass. So I'm just going to keep it to the score. I think the Chiefs come away with this one, and I'm going to tell you why. I think honestly, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, he's saying he's tough, and he is a tough guy. He's a very tough guy, but in his head, his inner voice is screaming its fucking lungs out right now because a high ankle sprain is a legitimate injury. I mean, you're out generally anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. But let me tell you why I have some confidence in him being held upright both mentally and physically.
Preach,
the Chiefs
David,
have arguably the
preach.
second. You goddamn right, brother. You goddamn right. The Chiefs have the second best O-line in the entire league. All they have to do is keep him upright. And I think Justin can speak on this. I mean, you're a big Bears fan like me, right?
Oh yeah, yes sir. It's a tough life, but yeah, I live it out.
Oh, you got it's Stockholm syndrome for me at this point, pretty
Please
much.
fuck no, never say that again in your life.
I love them, but it's almost forced at this point, you know. No, but it's.
I can't say that it's 2023. Pause.
I know I'm going into dangerous territory right here. No, but the thing is, remember Brandon Marshall in 2014, the season opener against the Bills. He suffered a high ankle sprain. The guy comes out the next week. He catches 4 fucking touchdowns in the game against the 49ers, having one of the filthiest catches I've ever seen over a top-notch 49ers defense. Yeah. That's a he's a big-body receiver. Was that times?
I had him on my team that week. It was amazing.
I was gonna say,
he even did the fucking touchdown like that.
Yeah, I love
30% target rate that year. Nah, no big deal.
He was sensational. It was crazy. So he's a big body elite receiver. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, he's a receiver. So let's not forget that. He's got to put all that weight running those routes on that ankle when he has to, okay? When he's, all throughout the game. He managed to go through the first, 12, 13 games of the season playing on that shit, never taking a game off whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think
we saw Saquon come back a couple years on that too. They said he was going to be out for like 10 weeks. He's like, "No, I'm good. I'm fine." So
exactly. These are freakish athletes, and Patrick Mahomes is a freakish quarterback who, while does have that dimension of running capability to his game, he doesn't have to rely on that as much as other guys. So I think as long as the O-line protects for him, they're going to come away with this game, and it's going to be crazy too because I think based on the last 2 games, the Bengals have come away 27-24 in each of their last 2 matchups. This time, I'm calling 28-24. The Chiefs pull it out, baby. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a legacy game for the fucking, for the organization's history. It's going to be sensational. And, I mean, when you're getting potentially Clyde Edwards-Helaire back, Juju Smith-Schuster's come back into the fold. The Chiefs also had the second most sacks forced in the entire league behind the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm more concerned about Joe Burrow getting protected behind that shithole of an offensive line that didn't do anything this year to improve itself compared to last year. More so than the Chiefs right now, keeping Patrick Mahomes upright.
Preach, David, preach.
Love it. Let's go.
Okay.
That one's for you, Mike.
Okay. You just assume that they got the fucking Great Wall of China, over there for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like it's not penetrable, but all right.
Hey, we'll talk. Don't worry about that.
Not quite, but you're damn near close to it.
Aren't the Bengals missing 2 offensive linemen?
Yes, they are. Jonah Williams and Captain Scott pulled out today.
And they're still gonna be fine. And they're still gonna
I'm
be
not laughing
fine.
at the injuries. I'm just laughing at he's supporting my argument. So
yeah, I was gonna say Jonah Williams, man, that dude just deserves a break. That's not bad.
So I think this game is going to go under. I'm very interested to see what happens with Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. I know that one of you guys just said that defense from the Bengals is pretty about average. It's at the same tier as the Chiefs. I disagree. I think that defense is way better than it gets credit for.
Yes, it is.
That defense
is great.
The Bengals or the Chiefs defense?
Bengals defense.
It's
yeah, I think they're a better playoff defense than they are a regular season, though. Like I feel like they've had holes that have been leveraged, but in the playoffs, they come to play. I mean, they're decent.
They've been really strong this season overall. I mean, the only issue that the Bengals offense did, because here's the Bengals defense on PFF is number 11. I honestly think they're a little bit higher than that. The one weakness they have is that they're on the field more often because there was a lot of 3-and-outs this year for Joe Burrow. It just, the run game was kind of shitty too. I was actually surprised Joe Mixon did anything last week. I was hella surprised. I was just like, oh crap, this guy just shat all over the over, but it's minor. But the thing that I'm more into is that we just talked about O-lines a lot. And that Bengals O-line can be bad. It's okay because they've been bad all year. Joe Burrow's worked through it. Joe Burrow has the highest passer rating this year, or quarterback overall rating this year, in PFF grades. Like he's
great. He plays well under pressure. Do not get me wrong.
He's the highest passer rating right now, and he's playing behind a bad O-line. The only person that's ahead of him or on par with them is Patrick Mahomes. And then after that, it would be Josh Allen, which I think is kind of a wonky grade because Josh Allen's not been that great of a passer the second half of the season. But like on par right now, I think Joe Burrow is playing out there. They literally showed him take the ball and throw it out within 2 seconds. He's literally just imitating playoff Brady right now, or regular season Brady, where he's getting that ball out every 2 seconds.
And
so I'll give it to him.
Haven't the Bengals beat them 3 out of the last 4 times, anyways?
What's that?
Haven't the Bengals won 3 out of the last 4
their shit?
Yeah. So like I just
defense is there already. Like they know what they're going up against. Like
if Mahomes is healthy, I would give the edge. But with the high ankle sprain, you take one hit, man. You get one hit incorrect,
Trey Henderson.
So I gotta
Henderson.
protect him, you know.
Anyone. It
Yeah,
could be
so
your own guy. It doesn't have to be Trey Hendrickson. It could be your own
really
offensive
don't
lineman.
like the receivers on. I mean, everyone keeps jerk. I don't know why people keep going back to Kadarius Toney, but like he hasn't been that good. Kadarius Toney has the same amount of receptions as Travis Kelce's in playoffs. Travis Kelce's had the same reception as regular season Kadarius Toney. One game, he did 14 receptions or something, which was equal to Kadarius Toney's entire season this last week. So I'm not excited for it. I don't know how the Chiefs win this besides just if the Bengals shut down or if the pass rush is that strong, which I do agree. Someone's talking about Frank Clark. Frank Clark is amazing.
Yeah, in the playoffs especially.
Yeah, they will have to play lockdown, and that's tough. You can't. It's hard to play lockdown against a guy that can get the ball out against 3 receivers and a running back. And Hayden Hurst is all of a sudden showing up. It's gross. So give me the Bengals. I think they do win this.
It's plus 100.
Thanks, Pang. I gotta take another one.
I'm sorry, Daddy, but here's the thing. I think Mahomes is way the best quarterback in the league right now. But
Joe, absolutely, talent wise for sure.
Yeah. So give me Joe Burrow. I'm gonna ride with them. I think that defense is better than they get credit for, and it's just terrible. Yeah.
One quick reminder of last year's Super Bowl, real quick. Remember the difference in that game was arguably the protection for Joe Burrow versus the lack of protection that he ultimately received from Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald decided that game. He decided that game. I'm just saying it's possible we could see a repeat this year in the AFC title game.
That's cute.
Am I going or are you going, Robbie?
You're gonna go. Okay. I'll go ahead and go. It's obvious. It's obvious. I'm taking the Bengals.
Let me get it out. Hold on.
It's obvious I'm taking the Bengals. We have 3 of us on the Bengals. We're going to end up with 3 of us on the Chiefs. This one is going to be split. To Payne's point, I just don't see how Mahomes withstands on that ankle. I mean, this is a much different sport than that of many others. I mean, Total Raw can only fucking keep you upright for so long. So that worries me. It didn't matter who the fuck the Bengals were going to face in this. I was going to ride with them anyways.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yes, it is what it is. Mike, I'm gonna let you go ahead and rant. Let's see who's your fandom.
Before we go, can you pull up Matt Canada's comment about the PFF pressures? So
let's see. Joe Burrow, PFF passing grade, win pressure 59.2, win kept clean 92.9.
So I already when I looked at that stat, I did see that too. But here's the problem: even if he's pressured and it goes down, it would still average out his actual grade, right? So the PFF will always average out your grade no matter how you do. So if you're pressured the entire time, you suck the entire time, it's going to have it. So even with the pressures, he's still graded out as the number 1 quarterback. So even with 59.2 when pressured, they still gave him a 90 overall. Yep. So that's including when he's doing bad. Right, so PFF will always grade you even if you're dropping.
Like, how are you going to stop? How are you going to stop Jamar Chase? How are you going to stop T. Higgins? Yeah. How are you going to fucking stop Hayden Hurst? Like, how are you going to stop Tyler Boyd? Like, how are you going to stop Joe Mixon?
Keep going. Here's the thing: you definitely can stop them, but the problem is the short game is so much better for the Bengals than it is.
You do not have answers for everyone. It is impossible for you to have answers for every single one.
How are you going to stop Andy Reid?
Andy Reid's the best play caller in the league.
That's one hell of a way to fucking hold a Waffle House menu. At the end of the fucking day, he's not on the field.
It is the size of
Robbie,
big ass Waffle House menus.
Can I have the stage and then you can have the stage after me if you need it?
Yes, because that was a stupid ass fucking argument.
No, it was not.
That considering when a team has beaten the dog shit out of you multiple times.
They lost by 3 in each of the last 2 games.
How many times have you beaten this
I understand that. Okay.
24 is not a beat dog.
Robbie, Robbie, go sip on your beer for a few minutes, please.
No, bro. Go ahead, give your take.
I know.
Because you know that you're gonna lose. You will know that you're gonna lose this game. So give your take.
I'm letting you take a drink so I can talk.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna take a little bit from everybody.
In a minute.
I'm gonna take a little bit from everybody because everybody said great damn things. First thing I'm going to take away from Taco was this. He actually said something correct for once. And that is, it is a big deal to me that they completely took Patrick Mahomes off the goddamn injury report. But to Justin's very freaking awesome point, because I was going to bring this up if Justin didn't bring it up or not. The one weakness that scares the living daylights out of me on my defense, besides my red zone defense, which is ranked 32nd in the league, I keep bringing it up, is the fact that you got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase out there with inconsistent but also young cornerbacks on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Besides L'Jarius Sneed, you got Watson out there who's a seventh-round rookie. Yes, he's made some big plays, but he's a goddamn rookie. Even Sauce Gardner looked like a rookie every once in a freaking blue moon, even though he should be one of the defensive rookie of the year candidates, which he is. Then you go to David's point of just that team being the way they are and the way they've gotten there so far, and the fact that that defensive line is good.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Pang's point where Mahomes isn't going to be able to hold up to what he normally has because of what is going on with the ankle. I get all that. And I get that they're your closet team, Robbie. Besides the fact that your closet team is really the Cowboys, I understand that the Bengals are your closet team.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
I had to say it at least once, okay? Here's the thing. You already know, Robbie, that I love T. Higgins and I love Jamar Chase. You cannot deny the fact that I love them.
Who doesn't?
Okay. I want to go to the fact of the two offensive linemen being out for, I think it was David's point, with the two offensive linemen being out and getting pressure and what happened in the Super Bowl last year. No one has brought up the name Chris Jones yet. Everyone's bringing up Frank Clark.
I said Chiefs are second in the league in sacks. So I was alluding to him.
The chat has multiple times. Multiple times.
He's one of the highest
graded Chris Jones for sure. Have to make a big play for them to do something. The keys on offense, and I will say this, and this is why I was clapping, and I was not clapping sarcastically. Even being a Chiefs fan, Pang, you are 100% right that freaking Tony hasn't done shit. I'm sorry.
Matt, send that. I want to see that.
Well, no one's doing anything.
Robert already knows how I feel about Tony. The Chiefs, to win the game, 2 players are going to have to be big. 3 players are going to have to be big in the game besides Mahomes. Mahomes is going to have to make a play here and there to be the hero. He doesn't have to play hero ball. If you watch my TikTok that I posted the other day, last night.
I'll watch your dick.
That's also a YouTube short.
You will also see that I said he is going to throw a pick. Because at one point in the game, he is going to try to play hero ball, and he is going to throw an interception. I guarantee it. But to do that, I am okay with it if that means we win the game. The 3 players that are going to have to ball out on offense to do something. Travis Kelce, obviously, I don't see where he's not going. No. I'm just saying he has to. If he doesn't, we're not winning the game.
I have him on my parlay.
Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon. I think they're going to use Jerick McKinnon a lot more than they did in last week's playoff game.
Yep.
But I think they're going to try to control the ball more than usual to keep the ball out of frickin' Joe Shiesty's hand and frickin' that deep offense. And on defense, Robbie, I know you're going to cringe inside because you know what I'm about to say. Nick Bolton, show up, baby. Let's go. Chiefs on the money line. Woo!
I love Nick Bolton.
I would take anything.
I'm a big Nick Bolton.
I'll take it for
fan.
touchdowns. I'll take it for yards. Take it for receptions.
I'm more concerned about the Chiefs playing man coverage against the Bengals more so than Patrick Mahomes' injury, because I don't think he can play man coverage against this fucking Bengals offense. You know, with how multidimensional it's too much.
Bro, honestly, what worries me for the Chiefs defense is that secondary.
Can get there
that secondary, but that secondary, the thing is that secondary, they're not. You're not.
But right now, they're in a position where if they can get that pass rush quick enough, they can make up for a lot of the deficiencies.
Agreed.
That's what scares me, though.
But I get your point too, Robbie. You're not wrong about that.
That hasn't been a winning formula for them, with pretty much this very much almost identical personnel in their past matchup.
Kind of,
The
yeah.
only
This
thing I
usually
will bring up, the
This
only thing I
does
want
not
to
bode
add,
well for them.
the only thing I want to add is a parlay real quick, or not a parlay, but a bet real quick because I did put it on my TikTok. Burrow over 277.
Okay.
I feel like you have to take that.
He's gonna have to, yeah.
I feel like you have to take that, especially given what you said. The Mahomes interception thing will be a thing, especially if that ankle rears its ugly head.
Yeah.
This is not me predicting an injury. This is me telling you
There is an injury.
Yeah, there is an injury. But in case shit purposes, you're probably taking the under on Mahomes. God forbid something happens and then Henny comes in the game. I don't think that you're getting freaking injury forgiveness insurance from DraftKings 2 goddamn weeks in a row.
Not yet, Robbie. Not yet.
So please bet smart. I understand the whole. You have 2 fucking games of football left. This is not the time to be sitting back and being like, you know what, fuck it. Like, we're just going to like go wild and go crazy. No, diagnose very carefully, very methodically. Whether you go with my takes or you go with, God, hopefully you don't go with Taco's takes, or you go with Mike's takes or Justin or anyone else's. Really quick. So Matt's parlay here, CMC over 30.5 receiving, Gainwell over 10.5. Yes. Yes. Ayuk over 45.5. Yes. Kittle over 45.5. That scares me. Scares me.
Take a stand on Ayuk or Kittle.
Ayuk, I feel I have more conviction in Ayuk.
So Matt, I would take Miles Sanders over 5 yards before I take Kenny Gainwell over 10.5.
I agree with
that.
What?
Miles Sanders at 5 receiving yards on over underdog right now. I think I'd go that over the 10.5.
Yeah, but he's doing this on DK.
I think it's the same. It should be the same.
Yeah, they're pretty much
in that last game, though, Gainwell went off. We were seeing like he was getting like 10 yards a clip.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, if you think that's the case, I'd probably take both. Because the problem with like these really low end stats is when people always bet the under or don't touch him, you're always just betting is like, does he get one? Right? Like, and I love those bets. Like, I think there was one with Ferguson from the Cowboys, and I was like, he just got to get one. Like, and it happens more often. Like Juszczyk right now is at 5.5. You're not taking Juszczyk at over 5.5 receiving yards. Like the fucking guy just needs one general. In his case, probably 2, but 5.5 occurs way more often for guys that are like always in the offense, right? Like you're not gonna tell me Miles Sanders is just not gonna be there.
I like Pang's advice over the going with Kittle. I just see in this Rick and Morty alternate universe type of situation where like Kittle does not hit that.
Kittle's right.
It's like a line that like when you look at it, you're like, oh, nice. But then like when you really start like getting into it, it's like, okay, for Ayuk and Kittle to have both, well, who does Purdy kind of really like love to go to in those deeper situations more? It's a lot of Ayuk. You're gonna mix it a couple of jet sweeps to Debo, then you'll get Debo involved.
Yeah. I think how many passing yards do you think that Purdy's gonna have?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that when
we're gonna get to that. Yeah. And the Hurts 200 plus passing. We're gonna get to that here shortly.
I'd rather take CMC for a receiving rushing touchdown either. Too. I feel like that's almost a gimme versus like any other stat line.
Right. CMC 2, any 2.
Yeah, any 2 of those touchdowns. 0.5 over receiving or rushing. You gotta take those.
Yep.
Shit, beat my fucking TikTok. I ain't dance for nothing for y'all. No, that shit was fire though. That shit was
good.
Fire.
I liked it.
Hey, so was my edit.
Yes, it was. That's why I credited you.
I know.
Like a couple of minutes ago.
You are your risky business.
Go, hey, watch the new one. Watch the new one I posted today. That shit was unhinged. That shit was I was like, people are gonna be afraid to share this. Like, people are gonna be like, this is completely inappropropriate. But so
the one from the campaign.
Yeah, the campaign that was great.
That was hilarious. Yeah. That was so good.
That little son of his is a sick fuck, though. You know,
degenerate gambling ensues, or degenerate sports betting ensues, bro. And that one came up. It was like, yeah, that's Robbie. It was like, yo, this is a real tale right now. Let's get into speaking of things that are just uncomfortable to talk about. The Philadelphia Eagles. God, the Philadelphia Eagles have made it this far. I mean, as good as football as they played, they deserve it.
I mean, makes sense.
It does. It does. It does. It does. It does. What are our thoughts here? They're taking on, of course, no other than the 49ers. I'll let Mike take it away.
All right. So, speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles, I want to bring this up real quick just for prop bettors. If you do use the sleeper apps over under stuff, right now they have a special on Jalen Hurts. 0.5 completions is the line for Jalen.
Under.
So obviously that is pretty much a free bet. Take it if you can. Let's get into game. The Eagles got AJ freaking Brown and the man Devontae Smith lately, who has actually been showing up. I do have Jalen Hurts that I put on my TikTok over the rushing yards. I think he's going to run the ball. He's going to just get enough. If it was a little higher, I wouldn't have taken it. They got a good defense. I think their defense is actually underrated. People talk about Slay locking down, if he can lock down Debo, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is the guy who I think is going to be the big play this week. If he's the one that shows up, I think he needs to show up for the team to do well. We already know that defensive line is pretty decent. You still got Brandon Graham there. You still got Fletcher Cox. That linebacker core is starting to show up. But the 49ers do have somebody named Brock Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant. They do have CMC, which everyone's been saying to take the over on the touchdowns. I completely agree. Robbie said he's got more conviction than Brandon Ayuk. Yes, Mr. Glock Purdy. You got Brandon Ayuk, who I do believe I do feel more conviction in Ayuk than I do Kittle. I agree with Robbie there. I am going to take it like I did in my TikTok, Brock Purdy on the under on the yards.
Okay.
There is something telling me that this game is going to be one-sided, not completely in the game, but just when it comes down to the end, I don't think it's going to go down to the last 8 minutes of the game. I think it's going to be decided in the second quarter and the third quarter. And going to the Super Bowl is the Philadelphia Eagles. I just think they're going to win by give me 6 to 10 points. I think they're going to pull it out. There's just something telling me that happens to be the year that Sirianni pulls something out of their freaking rabbit's hat. And as Robbie likes to say, and I know what Robbie's going to take on the pick, but Robbie also likes to say this: Shanahan blows it, and this is a game that he does.
That's what I was about to ask. So you're banking on the Shanahan show, which is very common. Very common. I'm gonna do this with my girl later tonight.
Thanks for the update, buddy.
It's a good approach.
You guys having sex?
Where's Mike?
Babe, take it away.
Give me the 49ers. Give me
Is that because?
No, I don't give a fuck about the Niners, but what I do give a fuck about is a great story, right? I'll tell you this shit right now. If Brock Purdy was playing last year against the Rams and it wasn't Jimmy G, they win that game. Sure, I'm telling you.
Wait,
because
you said if Jimmy G was playing?
Hang on a second, pal. All right, the Jimmy G here. All right. If Jimmy G was playing with CMC last year, they would have won.
No,
right?
Jimmy G is not that good. Jimmy G has not done.
CMC.
They are undefeated since CMC came to that team.
We need to have this discussion.
CMC's
we really need to have this discussion.
He is the MVP of potentially the Super Bowl if they win. Yeah.
But go ahead, Ping. Go ahead, Ping, because I think you're bringing up a very valid point. Go ahead.
Here's the thing about Brock Purdy. He's right off the bat been undefeated, right? I don't think people understand how crazy that is for anybody as a backup, let alone a rookie, let alone whatever. And
Happened to Ben Roethlisberger.
Downplay it, but I'm like, you guys
He
understand.
was not bad at Iowa State. He was not bad.
He was not bad.
You know,
He was not bad.
if your argument is, well, he's in a good offense, well, fuck yeah, he is. Like, why does that make him worse? Right? He's running the offense.
Yeah.
And he just ran against a defense that was equal to or better than the Eagles just last week. The Cowboys are actually a pass rushing defense to them. Well, depending where you look at it, right? Michael Parsons is fucking fire. Trent Williams is just ridiculous right now, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing: Kyle Shanahan is a fucking goofball. We'll see what happens if they make it to the Super Bowl. And I will say that I think Jalen Hurts is playing lights out. He's probably talked himself into a top 4 quarterback right now. He's playing better than Josh Allen. I don't care what anyone fucking says. He's playing better than Josh Allen. Okay,
He's been in you.
Yes.
Currently,
Yes.
He's in a better situation.
Currently,
Better
actually,
O-line, better receiver.
He protected the ball much better.
Right
now, I take
Jalen Hurts has not been in the league as long, and he hasn't played as efficient. So this has been the craziest step up I've ever seen. But I will say, sometimes that shit doesn't matter.
Jalen Hurts over Burrow.
Because right now, that offense is fire. That defense is the number 1 defense right now on the Niners, and I haven't seen a defense this good since Legion of Boom. This is literally the best defense we've seen since there. They play like lightning. If anyone catches that, I'll put it this way. Are you more excited to see the 49ers on offense or the 49ers on defense?
49ers on defense scared the living.
When they go onto the field, I'm
when you have Baby Palomalu, Halifunga, like Baby Palomalu's a scary motherfucker, bro.
You all see Fred Warner catch up to CeeDee Lamb the other game too? That was insane.
Yeah. Sometimes I watch Greenlaw and I don't even know if it's fucking Fred Warner because the fucking guy's just bolting out there. And I'm like, what is going on? So, and here's the one thing I'll say. A.J. Brown, as great as he is, he's likely going to get shut down. He will likely get shut down. A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf are about the same player overall. A.J. Brown's a little bit better of a runner at times. But here's the thing. Charvarius Ward kind of have kept people down all season. He's playing lights out right now. They're not going to make the same mistakes.
I'm going
to get to that in a little bit.
So if they win through Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. They don't win through A.J. Brown. And I'm curious how this goes overall, but I think this game is a bit more defensive. 46 is very, very interesting for this game, and I don't know how I would take the over-under, but if I'm going to take something, I'm going to take the plus 130 on the 49ers. Because this, like I said, Jalen Hurts has not played a defense at this level. Hasn't all season. He's never faced a defense, and he has games where will go 0 points for 2 quarters against the Jaguars. And you're going to tell me that he's going to come up and fucking just shit on this number 1 defense, this number 1 defense that we haven't seen as good in 10 plus years? No fucking way. I think it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna see something different. And as good as the defense is on the Eagles, their secondary is suspect way more often than we want to admit. I'm watching, fucking Darius Slay get burnt by guys that sound like they're creative player on Madden.
He did have a worse second half of the season compared to the first half. He did have,
David,
that's my take. Like I said, Purdy's running the offense efficiently, and sometimes that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Yeah, David.
Sorry. I'm gonna have to backtrack because I don't know if I would say Josh Allen is even in the second half of the season. I wouldn't say he's played worse than Jalen Hurts has because the reason why is Jalen Hurts has been outstanding this year. I'm not trying to knock him one damn bit, but Jalen Hurts has been put in a legitimate situation. He's got an arguable, subtle 3-headed monster in the backfield with Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenny Gainwell, but especially a lot of emphasis on Sanders. You got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, which is arguably a top 2 wide receiving duo, and you have arguably the best O-line in the league. Josh Allen doesn't have that. What's that?
Has Jalen Hurts thrown any on a turnover have been as ugly as Josh Allen all season?
I'm sorry, you cut out in and out. Can you
repeat?
Josh Allen hasn't protected the ball.
Jalen Hurts thrown as many or ugly interceptions as bad as Josh Allen has thrown this season?
He's not throwing more ugly interceptions.
Done.
But
that's
he's
it.
not.
It's just protecting the ball. He has more interceptions, period.
That's only one part of the game, though, turning the ball over. But in terms of taking
that's the biggest part of the game. That was the part that just got Dak Prescott railed all over Twitter.
We're just talking about turnover. Hear this out
also
real
led
quick,
the league
though.
in interceptions.
We're just talking about turnover proneness right now.
Go ahead,
and that's one dimension to your game. That's like saying Tim Tebow is elite because he didn't turn the ball over, which is not true, obviously, because that's only one part of your game. You got to talk about throwing the ball downfield. You got to talk about throwing the ball in the intermediate game, on the short yardage game, accuracy, precision, adjusting to player personnel that may be changing because of injuries and things of that nature. All that stuff, schemes, all that stuff, defensive schemes. I love what Jalen Hurts has done, but I just would not put him above Josh Allen. And even the second half numbers, kind of allude to that, where Jalen Hurts is 12 touchdowns in the last 8 games of the season. Josh Allen has, meanwhile, 16 touchdowns in the last 9 games of the season, for instance. That's just that alone. But anyways, going to this game, though, I've got the Eagles pulling away with this one. I think it's going to be very close, 24-21, because to go back to your point about, the strength of Jalen Hurts, it's going to be tight. And I've got the Eagles coming away because of Jalen Hurts, honestly, and that O-line. I think those two things trump anything. Trump the QB situation and the O-line situation of the 49ers as good as it's been. And I love Brock Purdy the way he's played, but I think he's honestly showcased that he can be a legitimate starting quarterback in this league. But he's also, let's face it, been put in a legitimate crazy situation with a lot of weapons, including Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, a legitimate O-line, McCaffrey, and a great play caller in Kyle Shanahan.
And goddamn, he does little orchestrating it. But continue.
You're damn right he does. He's looked phenomenal. But I think, honestly, because of the quarterback and the O-line situation, it's too damn elite in Philly. It's too damn elite. As multidimensional as the 49ers are, the Eagles are even more multidimensional. That's the difference in this game.
I think the best roster. It's
the thing that – wait, what did you say?
The Eagles definitely have the best roster.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But the X factor in this game, the last little bit before I finish off, the last thing I will say, you talk about A.J. Brown getting shut down. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's going to happen because DK Metcalf flat out cooked Charvarius Ward in the when they were playing each other in the wild card run. Flat out cooked him. I'm not just talking about the deep ball catch. He had 4 other catches on top of that accounted for damn near 100 yards, if not maybe even more than that in that game.
Preach, David, preach.
You goddamn right. If DK can torch Charvarius Ward, AJ Brown for sure can, because he's been better than DK has.
So here's the kicker for DK versus AJ Brown. AJ Brown has a much more limited role in his offense than DK had in his. Right? AJ Brown has been kind of used as a deep shot guy. His over the middle is pretty good. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the screen game, the slant game, things like that, dude, like AJ Brown has been so bad. When you look at Marshawn Lattimore's pick 6, it's one of the laziest routes you've ever seen that AJ Brown is. Like AJ Brown ran that shit like if motherfucker was jogging in practice. Like he has these really bad fundamental things that he see. And I don't know if Ward's gonna give it to him. No, don't get me wrong, I do think he's better than Ward easily. But when you put 2 guys up on AJ Brown, it's just not gonna happen.
That's what I'm wondering about. Like, how are they going to schematically approach that? Honestly. But I don't honestly get your disliking for AJ Brown with the way he's playing. Yeah, and you got Devontae Smith on the other side.
I would give it to Devontae Smith. My point is, who do you think gets 5 receptions? AJ Brown or Devontae Smith?
I'm going to go AJ. I'm going to go AJ. If he's
AJ who gets 5 receptions instead of Devontae Smith?
It depends on how they schematically play him. If it's Charvarius Ward up against him, yeah, I'll go AJ. I'll comfortably go AJ. If they're double teaming him and Devontae's getting the open looks, then Devontae's gonna be the guy. It all depends on what their strategy is.
I don't think it's gonna be completely white and black like that the entire game.
No,
it's not going to be. But that's what it comes down to.
There's so many different schemes between these 2 different teams to where that's what also makes like handicapping this game fun as shit.
And that's what the Niners defense does. They give you that exotic look to make you make a mistake.
And last little point, if the 49ers, if the Eagles secondary, including that legit CB tandem with Darius Slay and James Bradbury, even though Slay's been playing a little shitty in the second half of the season in comparison to his first half, I want to see how they occupy Deebo Samuel. That'll be the key to the game because that guy's only getting healthier. He's only getting more explosive. And I think, honestly, if they shut him down, that'll be the difference in the game on the defensive side of the ball. But I'm telling you, we're sleeping on A.J. Brown's matchup against Ward.
Brought up a great point. Shutting down somebody.
That's all I got to say.
How do you shut down CMC on that run defense? The Eagles' run defense is actually their priority. Bad.
It's not bad. It's got its lows, though. It's got those PKO, which is phenomenal.
That is the leverage point of their defense. If you want to beat up on the Eagles' defense, you run the ball.
Right.
This is a game where I could see Brock Purdy win the game and have less than 20 passing attempts. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo do it against the Packers.
Yeah.
And they have 2 backs, and they have 2 backs that can just bruise.
So
right.
Mitchell, really quick. Mitchell is questionable. But if Mitchell doesn't play or has a limited role, you're just going to get Deebo Samuel running back touches. You're going to get some weird looks from these guys, and they're not going to know how to react. You might see Sirianni call a random timeout, may not, manage things as well. We've seen what Shanahan's. We've seen him in this situation before. We haven't seen Sirianni make a run like this, and you can be confident in the Eagles all you want. Peeping my pick, I'm taking the Niners here, and it's not because I think that they're like elite, like they're like so much better.
But the coach has been in the position multiple times.
Sure, he can blow the Super Bowl. He doesn't need to win big this one.
You have no right saying that.
And here's the other thing
Justin
too.
brings up a valuable point. It's a very valid point.
No, Justin's point is very valuable. I have no problem Justin saying this. The shit you have talked about Shanahan blowing it, you have no one talking.
We are here at this moment on this episode of Rumboyz After Dark, Mike.
So we will see what happens after Taco's take. Take it away, Bruni.
But Justin made a good point though on being there. Here's the other thing where they've been. Brock Purdy's been practicing against the number one defense the entire season.
I don't think that we're talking about their defense enough still. I mean, like, we haven't brought up Nick Bosa's name once. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole side of the field that they're going to be able to take away from Jalen Hurts.
Fantasy Network in this game. This is a Rumboyz Fantasy Network game. Continue, Dustin.
Do you trust him against that Eagles O-line, which is the best in the league, though?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I mean, he's if we're talking about Chris Jones in the last game, we cannot not mention Nick Bosa, who also had to miss.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're able to take away a quarter section of the defensive line. You're going to be able to push Hurts in a different direction and force them to do things that they don't want to do. Oh, you're lining up AJ Brown over here. Well, that run, handoff scheme that you're trying to do isn't going to be able to get off in that direction. You're going to have to flip it or do something different. Like, I don't think that the Eagles offense is going to look as crisp and as clean as we've seen them all season long. That doesn't mean that AJ Brown couldn't have a decent game. That's Devontae Smith can't have 5 catches.
I think it's a Devontae Smith game for sure.
I would feel that way because he's the big field opener. Like AJ Brown is more of like, hey, look at me. Let's open up some other space for Goddard, for Devontae Smith. That's really his role in the offense. So I feel like AJ Brown's fine with having a bad game if they can win. You know what I mean? Like if they can move the chains. I do not trust one single running back for the Eagles up against this defense. Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott. I don't trust any of them. If they win this game,
is the highest run stopping cornerback I think this year, highest graded.
If they win this game, it's because Jalen Hurts leads the team in rushing yards, and that this isn't a game where I'm buying he can be, full steam ahead, top notch, as good as he was at the beginning of the season after coming back from injury. Like he's looked good, but he hasn't, in my opinion, been challenged. Like they dog walked the Giants. That was not a good setup for this game.
They haven't played a good defense all year. Besides the Cowboys.
Over or under 48.5 for Hurts.
Rushing?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at some point they're going to be down and they're going to need him to move the chains. I don't trust Sanders, Gainwell, or Scott against this defense unless they're getting carries inside the 5. Like if you want to talk props or stats or whatever, fantasy points.
Yeah.
Eagles may have the best run blocking though on that team from that O-line. It's that good, in the league. I'm just saying.
But every maker meets his match. They're going to. I feel like this is where they meet their match.
This game's gonna be razor fucking thin in terms of how it's decided.
Realistically,
let's get it to Taco these last.
Really quick though, because before Taco does this, the guys that have picked the Eagles so far, would you take the Niners +3? If it's that close, like, is that the pick?
No, I think I would take Niners +5.
I'm not a sports betting guy, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I think
they can win outright or lose by 3.
I think the Eagles are gonna win between 4 and a TD. That's what I think.
I mean, I picked 3, so I would take it. I said 24-21, was the score.
Yeah, so there you go. So plus 3 is the pick then.
I think this is one of those games that could be under, and it's going to be tight.
To me, it's going to be tight.
Here's the thing: the clock on this game might not be that long. This game could just be a fucking grind fest where they just run out clock on you.
Both the great run offenses. Yeah, absolutely.
this is not going to be a shootout. They're not going to have Purdy go out there and fucking throw the ball 35, 40 times.
I'm telling you right now, you're not going to see CMC getting like 2-yard gains. Like this dude's going to take chunk plays.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
He's been waiting for this
big
his whole
chunks.
life. His whole life.
Go ahead, Taco.
I mean, I think everyone's made a lot of great points, and I think the number one thing that I'm hearing downplayed though is that Eagles secondary. At the end of the day, James Bradbury and Darius Slay are ballers, and I think in a big game like this, they'll be able to shut down even on one-on-one coverage some of these wide receivers, giving them extra men to be able to play the run. And they can probably really scheme this up where they're going to force Brock Purdy to have to throw the ball and win this game because CMC is the game plan. So you really have to devise a game plan that's going to force him into
the thing is that you don't know that. You don't know that. Like Justin just said, you do not know that. There is nothing 100% definitive as to who that offense will flow through for any fucking game scheme.
That's true.
You're right.
With the San Francisco 49ers.
You're right. But with that secondary, what you do is you make them throw the ball. You make Brock Purdy, who everyone says everyone's been unchallenged. The Eagles have been unchallenged. You know who's been unchallenged?
Problem.
What's the problem?
You don't have to. That's the thing. That offense does not have to throw the ball to be efficient. That's what everyone's saying. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how does that begin to even manifest?
You're asking, what does it matter if the run game is just torching this defense?
Yes, right? That's what he's asking.
Yeah.
If the run game's just torching this defense, then obviously you have to change your scheme. But you have to come out there first and stop the run. If you stop the run and force Purdy to, or how?
In the Eagles' run defense's defense, not to sound redundant, they're hot and cold. I wouldn't say they're bad, but they're hot and cold. Hot and cold.
Listen, the Eagles, they may not be the best
and
run
they cannot
defense.
take punishment like that. Anytime they go up against teams that just pound the rock like that, spreads get very fucking close, and they're playing on their heels to hopefully come out with a win.
The Giants did get a couple of good runs versus them early, so they do have that ability to give up the big run. But what ended up happening is they couldn't run anymore because all of a sudden the Eagles' offense went off, and next thing you know, we're down by 14 points, and we all of a sudden stop going to the run because they were down by 2 touchdowns, and all of a sudden you're pressing to catch up. So
I have a hard time
stop the running game through scheme. You're going to have to stop the running game by putting up enough points and being able to score enough points that running game is literally going to have to come into a situation where if it's not delivering at 4 or 5 yards a clip, you're going to be forced into throwing.
But what is your answer? So defend that. But I'm literally asking you to defend that.
I am defending that.
How are you stopping CMC? How are you stopping Debo?
CMC?
How are you stopping to win that jet sweep option now becomes a pass play and it's IU just fucking 40 yards down the field?
Listen, you zone it out. You play disciplined defense. You don't really blitz that much in this kind of a game. You play more of a zone type scheme, and you sit back and you make your tackles.
You just got Justin excited. You just said
that they need to be bringing pressure, which means that you're going to be bringing blitz packages. Because you just
in order to stop the run, you just don't have to.
You just said they need to force Brock Purdy to beat them with their arm. So which one is it? Are they sitting in the house to force them to have to fucking throw?
In order to stop the run, you don't just have to blitz. You can stop the run in zone situations, especially if you're not coming aggressively and you're maintaining your gaps.
I agree with Taco on that portion. But the kicker the kicker for the issue with when you try to do that against the Niners is they disguised their offense so well.
They do.
The disguising is so ridiculous on the 49ers.
You just play into a trap.
But that's why I'm sitting back in his zone, even if you are coming with the trap, I'm in probably the safest scheme situation where I'm not putting myself exposed to that much situations.
They don't have that much utility on the Eagles, though. For disguise, I don't think they have the utility players, like the guys that can do 2 things and the awareness level, right? Hassan has been pretty good,
point.
but he's been a very strong.
Yeah, bro. Didn't they sign Ndamukong Suh and
they did,
and somebody else, Linval Joseph, right?
They got Robert Quinn. But
And they're
So
not even
if you-
doing anything with those guys.
Yeah.
So the
Like, it's
Eagles
not
right
like,
now,
what are they there for?
they're just
the
showing
Eagles
off
right
at
now
this
are
point,
dead
you
16th
It'll
in
be
run
interesting
defense,
to
by
see
the
how
way.
they use that
They're
personnel in a
16th
game
in
like
the league
this.
in run
'Cause
defense.
You tell them boys, get up for one game. We need to stop CMC. I mean, can they pull it out?
Okay, if you want to stop CMC, TJ Edwards is going to be incumbent upon him to do so.
Yeah, it
I'll say
is.
that. That guy
And
is going to be the guy to stop him, if anyone. Okay.
And then let's face it, Jalen Hurts right now is the scariest quarterback in the NFL because he can throw and he can run. He has
Exactly.
completed at
And he's
66% of his passes.
A
He only had
phenomenal
6
deep ball thrower, too.
interceptions,
Okay,
and he's able
Taco.
to run the ball. What?
I got to say one thing.
Uh-huh.
I understand Jalen Hurts is good. I do think he's part of the issue. But last week you just told me that Mahomes is the biggest guy in the NFL when it comes to quarterback.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
can't have your cake
No.
and eat it too.
He's got receipts,
You're both
baby.
wrong. It's Joe Burrow.
Best and scariest are two different things. And I said he's the scariest because guess what? He can run and he can throw and he can do it at elite levels on both. He hasn't done it long enough to be up there with Mahomes.
Okay.
But when you look at what he could do right now, he has
So-
to.
something I wanna-
Justin Fields this year.
Something I want to
Okay, I
bring
wanna
up
hear-
the defense that you can't rate a metric on right now is that the proactiveness of the 49er defense. I have never seen a defense just clamp on anything like I've seen, like I said, this Legion of Boom, right?
Yep, it is.
Anytime
It is.
something occurs, 5 guys are there to kick you in the face.
Mhm.
And it's the craziest thing. Like I said, I get excited to watch them go on
The
defense. I'm more
Seahawks
like,
were
oh,
in the
this is gonna
game
be
for the
fucking
whole
cool.
first half, and that team really isn't as good as this Eagles team. I think if
4
this
quarters.
Eagles team really gets going, they can put up some points really fast, especially
I know
when you
we're
have
running-
big play receivers.
I know we're running long on this topic, but after
Yep.
Robbie gives his full take, I got one quick question for the entire
I've already given
crew.
mine. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying there.
so you're good? Okay. My quick
Sorry,
question
Robbie.
is this. If the Niners get the ball down by 4 with 2 minutes left,
Oh fuck.
do you believe that Purdy can drive them down to score a touchdown?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my
possible.
problem. I don't know if they can. That's part
Fuck
of my
yeah.
issue.
It's
I do.
not. I don't think it's likely.
Because
Ah,
I think
if
I
you're-
think
if you're-
that's what
if
it's
you're-
going
if
to
you
take.
put
I
those-
think
I
that's
think the
what it's
Eagles
going to happen.
defense is a lot better than y'all giving them credit for.
if
I
I'm
think
the Eagles,
people
I'm gonna
get
be honest.
enamored by
If,
the
no,
names
if I'm
of
the
the
Eagles,
Eagles
if I'm the
defense.
Eagles, and like yeah, if I'm the Eagles, I'm put in that situation. I'm like, oh fuck, and I'm staring down the barrel of fucking CMC, George Kittle.
You'll see CMC
Debo.
receiver in that scenario. You won't see
Yeah.
him
Oh,
at
I'm
running
not
back. You'll just
denying
see
that,
him
Exactly.
as a
Justin.
receiver.
I just
Exactly.
don't. That's what I
Exactly.
think. That's what I think is going to
Debo,
happen in the game.
IU. Yeah, I kind of start at that point. I think I start shitting a fucking brick at that point. And then God forbid if they all go full spread, it's like even if you just chuck up a wish and a prayer, all these guys have hands.
Are you talking 2-minute drill?
Yeah.
I'm talking. They get the ball at the 2-minute warning to win the game down by 4.
How many
So it's a
timeouts do
big-
I got?
2 was at the 20.
Oh, money. Yeah, money.
Money.
Cash.
That's fucking money.
20-yard line?
You won that.
Yeah.
Well,
20-yard
what's the
line?
line
Yeah,
on
cash.
that? I got
Wow.
20
Cash.
on it.
Bro.
Straight cash.
No,
No,
all right.
I'm just curious what people's thoughts are on that because I
I
thought
can't
about
wait
that
to
when I was
bet
talking.
But here's the
Not
thing: I don't.
likely.
It's not
This
that I
isn't the
trust
Cowboys.
Purdy.
Like, it's not-
I
it's like-
trust Shanahan. Shanahan's
There's
a
the
fucking
issue.
son of a bitch.
Now,
Robbie,
I
answer that
trust-
question. Robbie, answer
Now-
that question.
now here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. Shanahan, you get this one. Find out on the next episode of Rumboyz After Dark. And see what the fuck I say happens in the Super Bowl.
Because
The
someone I know
49ers
has been
have an
talking
offense
shit.
that
Because
feels
somebody's
like
gonna
on
choke.
paper
Because
they would be
somebody
prepared
has
for
been
that
gonna
scenario.
choke.
Like
Huh?
the Cowboys at the end of that last game, I was like, no,
Oh,
this ain't
no.
happening. This
Well,
isn't that.
you're
This
trying
isn't that
to
team.
When you're
Yeah.
trying to Zeke as your fucking center, I mean that's just
And
like
let's
Hey,
not
you are
forget,
brain
I'll
dead.
be honest.
I was laughing my
I liked
ass
the play
off,
design.
yeah.
I liked it,
But-
but it just didn't come out.
Philadelphia is a hell of a place to play. That
You like it if you're in
stadium
high
is
school.
gonna be
Like-
so ratchet.
That's where that play's gonna work.
Let's go ahead. Let's get into halftime.
You got it.
Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. We'll see you in a few.
Cheers.
Hop out in Miami when I'm landing, got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me up, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop CLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, where you're not.
How the fuck did that just happen?
Be going crazy. Live in this moment, shawty. Moment we gon' hold it, shawty. And it's sad cause you want it, shawty. Our love, we gon' flown it. Finna tear the spot, baby, then let me know you coming. Feeling ass over through the matrix. After that, I go down like a basement. Don't keep quiet, I expect you to take it. Couldn't wait here, baby, I wanna taste it, yeah. In the lights if you really wanna. Yeah. For tonight, cause you're all I need. No, I'm never gonna change. My love will stay the same. I love it when you say my name. In the lights if you really wanna. Yeah. It's for tonight if you really wanna. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Know what I want, shawty, you know what I need. Love you forever, baby, in my Reese's Piece. I just want your attention, girl, whenever I see you. I don't wanna lose your heart forever, I keep it. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Just get it started, yeah, 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 yeah. Love the way that you're moving your body, yeah, yeah. Damn right, and I ain't lying, cause I be putting it down like, yeah, 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 yeah. Just get it started, yeah, 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 yeah. Love the way that you're moving your body, yeah, yeah. Damn right, and I ain't lying, cause I be putting it down like. Dim the lights if you really wanna. Yeah. It's for tonight, cause you're all I need. No, I'm never gonna change. My love will stay the same. I love it when you say my name. Dim the lights if you really wanna. Yeah. It's for tonight if you really wanna. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Acting by night, he going crazy.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a monkey knife fight.
And one day, they met one team partners. And the NFLPA.
It's a match made in the pits of a monkey knife fight.
And everyone lived happily ever after.
Are you listening? This is big.
What is a monkey knife fight?
You know, it's thing monkeys, knives, you get it. Fantasy sports is monkey knife fight. And monkey knife fight is fantasy sports.
Monkey Knife Fight is daily fantasy.
Monkey Knife Fight in the house.
I am Monkey Knife Fight. You are Monkey Knife Fight. We are all Monkey Knife Fight.
Monkey Knife Fight.
You have the NFLPA behind the company.
It's exciting for me to be a part of fantasy sports.
When I think of fantasy sports, I think of beating all my buddies year in and year out and being able to brag about it.
We're not just partners in it.
We're owners.
And it feels awesome to be an owner.
I challenge you to a monkey knife fight.
We've been saving you a seat at the table, Monkey Knife Fight.
Welcome to the one team and NFLPA family.
Monkey knife fight. Welcome to the family, Monkey Knife Fight.
Welcome to the game, Monkey Knife Fight.
Monkey Knife Fight!
I challenge you to a monkey knife fight.
Monkey Knife Fight! Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife...
Monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight,
monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight, monkey knife fight,
Shitting on somebody in prison
is illegal in my state.
Monkey knife fight.
Oh, it is? Oh shit.
You said that sucks. I feel like
Yeah, it does.
Don't get me. I actually have a skit that I'm working on about fucking states that aren't legal versus states that are legal.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty comedic. I'm back on my social media bullshit. I'm back on the grind. So make sure y'all go fucking run up those likes. Go show some love. Check out my shit. Check out Mike's shit. We've both been dropping a lot of shorts lately. Catch both of our shorts right here, Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Run that shit up because shorts are about to be like the for real wave. Like shorts are for real the wave. And plus that one that I did today was just fuck that skit. Oh my gosh. By the way, shout out to the homie Saj the artist. That was a track that just played. All I can say is, well, first off, what I want to say about the track first, make sure you guys check him out. iHeartRadio. He's blazing up 2023. The man is about to fucking tear shit down. He is tearing up iHeartRadio right now. So big ups to him. He will be performing here Super Bowl Sunday pregame show. And what I can say is that the performance is gonna be pretty fucking fire. It's gonna be pretty fire. We're bringing y'all an R&B set. We're bringing y'all a couple of different hip hop sets. We're bringing y'all a country rock set. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be fucking phenomenal. You won't want to miss it. Rumboyz Fantasy Network. We back on our bullshit. Speaking of being back on our bullshit, we are back here in the second half of Rumboyz After Dark. Cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboys and girls. What it do, dilly dilly.
Hell of a first segment too. It got fiery in that first segment.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and chop up segments of that. We're definitely gonna have to go back and
loved it.
Yeah, get some screen
Passionate
recording.
group. What can we say?
Yeah. Speaking of passionate, here's a topic that I am very passionate about because the first name that I gotta say in the damn topic makes me want to fucking vomit, and that is Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett is now the new OC of the New York Football Jets. Actually, the goddamn Jets.
You almost had the other team's name.
I was trying. The point was to fool everyone, honestly. But yeah, the goddamn Jets. Automatically, everyone is now linking Aaron Rodgers to be the next QB for the New York Jets. Yay, nay, what are our thoughts? And the state of New York, now that you have Hackett, who, yes, according to Aaron Rodgers, one of his favorite coaches, but you ask Denver Broncos fan, the man straight basura. I think, who do we start off with first? Taco, actually, right?
Yeah, Taco goes first.
Taco, take it away.
I think it's a fitting hire for the Jets. If he's going to be basura, it's fitting for them because they're basura. But if it is the guy that Aaron Rodgers wants to be with, hey, guess what? The Jets are willing to spend for a quarterback. They've made it pretty clear. Their fan base is pretty clear. Their media is pretty clear. They want Aaron Rodgers. They're willing to give up whatever it takes in order to get him to
you
come.
You can have whatever you like.
Because let's face it, I mean, you have one of the best offensive rookies in Wilson. You have one of the best defensive rookies in Sauce. You have a pretty young team overall. You have a team that has some of the offensive linemen on the IL this year who made the offensive line not look quite as good as it really is. And you think about it and you say, you know what? If we can give up a couple of picks to get Aaron Rodgers, we're not that far back because we have a young core right now. We can afford to give up 2 picks right now to get the guy that's going to captain our ship and take us from being, a fringe playoff team to a team that can win maybe 1 or 2 games in the playoffs. And the Jets fans are here for it. I don't know if he's going to win the Super Bowl, but you know what? They're willing to go all in just to get a couple wins in the playoffs. And God bless their little hearts. It's been a long, tough road for them.
So, Taco, what you're saying is the Jets, what the Jets are saying, according to you, first round pick, take Zach Wilson, it's fine. Just don't touch our receivers or our line, baby. You can take whatever you like.
And I'll tell you this, Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson actually have a good relationship. And you could even see that Aaron Rodgers comes there more in a mentorship state, and they actually keep Zach Wilson and they let him sit for a little bit behind Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think that BYU Bible thumper and ayahuasca perk pop and Aaron Rodgers hippie ass dude those two just seem like a weird fucking dude.
Aaron Rodgers was because there was the comparisons in the offseason. Then Zach Wilson actually, because it was big in the media out here, and then Zach Wilson actually went and met with Rodgers. They started communicating. And during the season, actually, Rodgers was maintaining a mentorship role with him. True story. So that's one thing that you could think of. It's like, hey, not only can you have Aaron Rodgers, but you can keep Zach Wilson in this situation and have him learn.
Taco, I have one thing to bring up about that subject. This is the same guy that said he is not there to mentor Love. I don't think he's gonna be the mentor type.
Yeah, but
mentor type on the outside is one thing. Mentor type in the same locker room is a whole nother subject. And the MILF hunter might not want to be mentored by him.
But I think that's a different situation because he was expecting to get himself a weapon in that situation. Instead, they wasted on a quarterback versus him going to a place where he knows there's a young kid that's broken and he's going to go there and fix him. And he knows that he doesn't have that much time left.
Rodgers is an arrogant fuck, and I'm gonna be honest. This is very much giving me Brett Favre vibes. Justin, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is just like jumping at the bit to get on the Jets. I mean, sure, could a move be made? Yeah, potentially, especially if the Jets are, putting everything on the table except for this, that, and the other. Wilson, Breece Hall, Sauce, whoever. I don't really know what would be that interesting to the Packers other than first round picks or just high draft capital in general, if it's a bounty of picks or whatever it is. Again, the same thing with the Nathaniel Hackett connection. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, they obviously needed a new offensive coordinator. Hackett has had some success when he was with the Packers. If Aaron Rodgers comes there, it's not like, Devontae Adams is coming with him, those years that Nathaniel Hackett had a great offense in Green Bay.
Exactly.
And I mean, was the plan like if Nathaniel Hackett was the OC those seasons, right? Of course, just throw it to Devontae every time. Was that his playbook? I can't imagine that was the case. I can't imagine, Aaron Rodgers overloading Devontae Adams with targets, red zone targets, touchdowns, etc. was quote unquote the game plan, right? So I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be the biggest advocate for his destiny. As far as other locations where I could see him landing, I think it's going to be very unlikely that he lands with another NFC team. Teams that I could name. That I would believe would be in the same type of circumstance where, like, hey, cards are on the table. Potentially the Giants, potentially the Redskins, and potentially the Saints. Do I think that those are likely to happen? Probably not. Did I say the Redskins?
You did, yeah.
Oh, my bad. The Commandos.
In 2019.
It's I'm sorry. I'm looking at my board and I have quarterback teams circled and it's still the old logo because it's from like 2017. And it's so bad. Really, I don't want to get too far off here, but this sticker company that sent me these, fuck them. They shat on the Bengals and they didn't give me a Bengals sticker. They gave me 2 Jacksonville stickers, so I had to cover the second one in orange and write the Bengals over it.
That's great.
That's my bad. Commandos. Anyways, the
Good
AFC
improv,
teams that I do like him potentially are the Jets. They have to be in there because they're going to be buyers at the position. It's just the Jets at the end of the day. I just cannot see.
They're fucking cursed deep down.
I can see the Titans. The Titans.
One location I think is really solid. Potentially is the Colts, and I think we're going to see Pat McAfee start to really pull on the recruiting hat and really try to make that happen again, because I know he was trying hard last offseason when there was all that talk, and I think Adam Schefter and Dan Orlovsky got in like a big argument on his show about the potential of him like writing his own destiny, going where he wants to go. Like, I still feel like he's going to be pretty involved in that. Given, I think they even said something like, Aaron Rodgers and the team, they're going to have those conversations together if he is going to get moved in the future. Like that was kind of like the thing that they had discussed when he, got his new deal.
And on top of that, you can't sit back and tell me that Rodgers did not sit back at Hackett's hack job and be like, ain't no fucking way I'm going to do that again. David.
So, as far as I don't know about the Colts. The Colts, it could be interesting, maybe if they get legitimate foundation built with a head coach. Because I mean, if it's Jeff Saturday, God help them. I don't think that.
There's a lot of boxes you got to check before something like that could happen for sure. Yeah,
and that's the thing too. Speaking on that point with these older veteran quarterbacks like an Aaron Rodgers, like a Tom Brady too, who may be moving on to greener pastures. After this year. They're going to want a foundation set up in place before they pursue that opportunity. They're not just going to go to some rando team out there,
Right.
And I want to say the Jets could be that team, but, let's face it, this team's got to be fucking cursed at this point when they even shat the bed this year. I mean, there's got to be some subtle voodoo shit going on to sabotage this team every year.
I told you, but y'all fucking make fun of me whenever I bring it up. I told you.
I'm trying to remember if I was part of that crowd. I probably was. I don't remember. But if I was, shame on me.
Superstition in football's real.
Good boy.
I'll repent for my sins. I will repent for my sins.
Bro, remember back in the day you couldn't even fucking change your jersey number? I know players that fucking still play with the same goddamn mouthpiece that they wore with that back when they were in fucking high school.
Really?
I still have my high school mouthpiece. You know where I put it? In my fucking sock.
Hey, I'm just a fan, and I'm still wearing my playoff chonies.
That's how you get foot fungus of the mouth.
Superstitious motherfuckers.
It's real, David. It's real. You can't sit here and tell me it's not. You're a Bears fan. You got double doinked.
Yeah.
So that means you're gonna
Hey,
grow
don't.
some
Hey,
psychedelic
I already
shrooms,
picked against the Eagles. All right, you don't have to do me like that.
Yeah, you're going
Sorry,
into
Justin,
personal
got caught in the
territory here
crossfire.
with the double doink mention. I think you're crossing a fucking couple lines here, man. No, it's with the Jets. It's just as rough as the Bears. We're both like as cursed as they fucking come. But the thing with this, I'm actually a high on this move. I really am, because it's not even just what he did with the Packers. When what he did with Devontae Adams, with Aaron Rodgers, with MVPs going back-to-back years to Aaron Rodgers. With Robert Tonyan, what he did with big old Bob Tonyan at the tight end spot. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon being arguably a top 2 running back tandem in the league. Let's not forget about what this guy has done with other pieces on this offense. The O-line, too. You know, there were a lot of great things where Aaron Rodgers saw arguably some of the best years of his career in an already legendary career outside of those couple of years.
Aaron Rodgers for the Lions.
You think that was more?
Please
just really
move
quick.
out of the NFC North. I am begging you, Aaron. Just get the fuck out of the NFC North, please. My Bears have had enough of getting anally invaded.
I'm just trolling.
So really quick though, do you think that was more Hackett than LaFleur? Because I felt like that was more his principal basis was we need to be a more run heavier team.
You can argue that it's a combination of both, but let me tell you why it's at the bare minimum.
I'm not really making an argument. I'm asking you like what your thought is there. Like is it Hackett over LaFleur or is it LaFleur over Hackett?
I think it's kind of a combination of both. I think it may even be more so Hackett than LaFleur, honestly.
The two haven't been the same. The two haven't been the same without each other.
No, the two have not been the same without each other. And he absolutely shat the bed with the Broncos this year to where they look like Denver donkey dick out there instead of the Broncos. It was awful to watch. But,
donkey dick.
it was disgusting, and and even with that being said, I thought he should have lasted longer than a year because I usually believe in the 3-year principle, that they last longer than a year.
No, they said Russ Wilson's good, actually. It's this guy. It's this guy.
It was both of them. They shat the bed. They both shat the bed.
I just wish Taco had a fucking background that actually
it was a
had some
tag
lighting
team
to it.
performance there,
It's because he's wearing all black against the black now. Well, last week it was all white against the white.
Yo, before I had to let David continue, I know we've interrupted him a lot, but Taco, real question: are you fucking colorblind?
What's wrong? What's wrong?
You're wearing black against an all black background.
You wore a white jersey. Okay, you've worn green, knowing that you are standing in.
I hate that I can't wear green. I hate that I can't.
Dude, you almost look like a floating head. Like you're a fucking.
This is what I came in with.
There,
Okay,
that's better.
Thank you. You actually look like you have some fucking light in your house. The other one looked like I'm like, yo, does this motherfucker pay the electric? Shit.
By the way, why do you have that background? Do you work in like a one of those shops that sell those toys, or?
No, he has a sweatshop underneath the fucking studio.
He's just a nerd.
I collected those joints.
Oh, cool.
Those are
Nice.
toys. I thought you were
Hell
a
of a
card
connection.
breaker.
No,
I'm so sorry.
Whatchamacallit? Pops. Those are the pops.
Yeah, the pops. That's right. I think I got like one line around my
Man, shit. Give it a couple years. Some of those drinks have like some of them like 50, 40. I got them for like $9-10. Graphic design master.
Some of the most random shit sells for like legit money. It's crazy.
Bro,
so I'm curious
because I you know what it is.
So,
it's like
hey, really quick, congrats to Dan. Congrats to Dan on his big new purchase.
My boy Dan.
What'd you get, Dan?
What'd you get? I don't know what you got.
You can fucking talk about it. Let's go. David, finish your take. Now we roast Taco.
I mean, he bought a stripper. Like, what is that? Like, what did you
now,
give it up for the man. Yeah.
I wore black.
We can't talk about it.
Oh my God. Just making it rain out there, baby. Keep doing your thing, Dan. No, with the Jaguars and with the Bills too, man. When there were some good things to note with Blake Bortles.
He said my life back.
Leonard Fournette, there were some good things to note in that 2017 year when they went to the AFC title game. Offense was top 6 in the league that year. I'm just saying. And I'll even say with this dude right here, Kyle fucking Orton in 2014. There were some great things to note, for Kyle Orton's sake, that is. Let's be real here. Let's temper everything.
Yeah, I was like, where are we going with this?
He wasn't an MVP caliber player, but he looked good. He looked like a competent, functional quarterback, unlike when he was with Chicago, where it was defense has got to basically tie him down and drag him along with us.
You mean when he started doing blow before games?
But I might be buzzed, but did I just hear Kyle Orton talk?
My ears perked up real big.
His 2014 year, his final year of his career, he looked not too shabby.
Yeah, that's just bad. That's just as bad when I'm like,
that's a long time ago, bud. I'm checked out in 2014.
But I'm saying it's a track record. You look at his Packers.
Doug Williams, the first black winning NFL quarterback in the Super Bowl.
You look at him in 1975 when he was coaching. No, I'm kidding. No, he's not that old. He's not that fucking ancient or old or anything like that. He's a legitimate, promising guy.
Back in my day when my team won rings.
In the glory days when Peppered Farm.
Fucking NFL boomers.
No, but he's got 3 teams to showcase: the Bills, the Jaguars, and the Packers as an OC. As an OC, he's competent and he can do some good things. As a head coach, it's a different fucking story. It's a shit show when it comes to that, as based on last year.
If they start 1-5, he'll be fired first.
Probably. Honestly, the leash is very tight on him.
It ain't gonna be Robert Saleh that's gone. It's not gonna be the quarterback. It's just they'll just fire him.
But Rodgers will love the foundation set up with Garrett Wilson, with Corey Davis, with a promising enough O-line with Breece Hall. There's a lot to love about this Jets offense, and the defense too. Defense is sensational.
Okay.
So to that, if you're him, would you prefer? And again, I know this is difficult because it's still the Packers that trading him, but don't you think the Commandos or the Saints are just as good a landing spot based on what's around the position?
Commanders more so than the Saints. Saints, I don't know about the run game and the O-line situation. I don't know.
The Raiders
the Packers have already said they will not trade him to an NFC.
Yeah.
That's what I expect. He's going AFC. AFC or
not. Go to AFC.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the AFC landscape, it's not like he's going to go to the Texans.
What if the Steelers?
He will retire.
No, they're going to ride with Kenny. They're going to ride with Kenny.
What you got, Perry? What you got? What you got?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Paying, you're muted.
Sorry, I was waiting for y'all to finish. I'm sitting right off the bat. Just I don't know why we care about Nathaniel Hackett and the Jets. Who fucking cares? Nathaniel Hackett is not going to do anything that we give a shit about. In the event that as David was saying, he's had he's shown his competency. No, he actually hasn't shown his exact stat line as a offensive coordinator to head coach is literally Adam Gase. It's Adam Gase. It's fucking Adam Gase, and he went to the same fucking team. He went to the Jets eventually, right? The only difference between those two guys is that Adam Gase took the Dolphins to the playoffs, right? Nathaniel Hackett had a great roster. He
did have a great roster. You're right.
And here's the thing: you could argue, well, he did well with Kyle Orton, Blake Bortles. No, he didn't do well with those guys. Blake Bortles, I think in 2017 had the craziest stat line, but he also they were losing the entire way through and they played from behind. I think they had the highest deficit I think they were 4-12, fucking played catch up every game, and that's why Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns went off. Right?
No, that was a year before that with Allen Robinson, I believe. But Leonard Fournette went off and they were 10-6 still.
So here's the kicker. When you're saying that he's a good offensive minded coach for running backs. So all this tells me, if Nathaniel Hackett is on the Jets, is that Breece Hall is probably going to be in a 60-40 situation, 70-30. You're going to see the second running back get a lot more use. Breece Hall is not going to do what he just did this past year, especially coming off an ACL tear. So that's the only thing that tells me. And well, you can argue, well, why do you say that? It's because we literally just watched him do this his entire career. He's always had 2 running backs, and he's been AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones. He Sean McCoy, when he was on previous to this, they've always run 2 running backs. We just watched him do it. Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, and fucking Latavius Murray, and Mike Boone. The list goes on. It's going to be a running back tandem situation over there. So does Aaron Rodgers have a shot at going there? Sure. I mean, why not? It's an AFC.
Yeah.
They have enough teams to win, but I don't know if this is spectacular to me. The guy doesn't have a overall great track record. He happens to be just Adam Gase adjacent, right? Jay Cutler's best career year was with under Adam Gase, and that's why he got a job, right? Like shit fucking happens. Like I'm not excited for this at all. And I called Nathaniel Hackett sucking coming into this. I made a whole article about how Russell Wilson was just going to be one of the most overrated fucking plays coming into the season, and that if you were going to do anything, take the running backs. And it played out exactly the way that I written it in July of last year.
But again, remember, this is him being an OC as opposed to an HC, meaning a head coach.
Same thing. It's going to be a running situation.
So
right?
do you think that okay? Look at the years before. One last thing, real quick. I want to ask Peng if that's okay. Look at the years right before Nathaniel Hackett got to Green Bay versus the years when he was there with Aaron Rodgers. Okay, look at the years that Aaron Rodgers had before he was there, and then when he was there. Do you believe that was more so LaFleur or Hackett that led to those MVP seasons?
I think it's more Aaron Rodgers
and Corey.
Okay. All right.
I think Aaron Rodgers
just got out of a rut.
He throws the ball.
I think Aaron Rodgers just sat there and did what Peyton Manning did for Gase and the rest. Like because the thing he badmouthed like fucking Mike McCarthy, right? Like he's just like no, fuck you, Mike McCarthy. Like I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna do my thing. You go take credit somewhere, right? Like we're gonna go into fucking NFC conference championships and Super Bowls. Like you're just gonna fucking ride my coattails. And I think this is the kind of same scenario where Nathaniel Hackett was riding coattails. I think it's all Aaron Rodgers. Like Peyton Manning did this for Adam Gase. We've seen it before, and I think this is another version of that.
Okay,
right.
I see.
And I think that's where that leads to. I think it's just Aaron Rodgers being a Hall of Famer, right? I could go up there and get credit for that. That wouldn't be hard. I'd be like, "Yo, like Rodgers, do you?"
Shout out to Peng,
cool.
my fucking
throw
QB
the ball
guru
to the
over
best
here.
receiver a lot.
I do think Nathaniel Hackett has something in his past to make him kind of like interesting, but I don't think Blake Bortles is the guy I'd point to for that. I wouldn't point to any other year that he was around Rodgers to say that he was a good offensive coordinator. I just think I just wouldn't like I said. It just reminds me of Adam Gase when people used to argue about Adam Gase coming down. And here's the thing, though, I will give Adam Gase the credit. I actually don't think he's as terrible as people may not to be, because he did take a very, very bad Dolphins team to the playoffs in his first year. Fucking props to him, right? But other than that, like, look what watching what he just did with a team ready for playoffs over in Bronco land. I don't know how I'd be excited to have him, no matter where he was, unless he was a running backs coach.
You can't be excited if you're a Jets fan by any means. Like, oh yeah, we just had that start to the season and then that finish, and then we got this guy.
Yeah,
ouch.
And here's the thing: the amount of ridicule he got as a Bronco fan, as a Denver Broncos head coach, is going to be 5 times as much when you're going to be just a New York team. New York franchises have it. If you're anybody on a New York franchise, it's infinitely worse. Mm-hmm. If you're a quarterback, if you're a star player, you're going to get fucking eaten alive. It just sucks.
Yeah, media's rough over there. It's rough business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he thinks he had it bad in Denver land, it's going to be way the worse when he gets over to New York.
Mm-hmm.
When you win, you get the love. So I mean, if he wins, he'll get more love than he's ever had. Yeah, it's high
highs and low lows.
Yeah, it's
yeah. Mm-hmm. And I will say the one thing I do like is that the head coach over Sal's at the amazing. He's been playing great. He's been doing the right stuff. And I think that won't really matter. I think what we're going to see, if we're going to see any real effect, is probably some more rushing, because Nathaniel Hackett has shown that he loves to use his running backs. And he's one of the few guys that's ever had 2 1,000-yard running backs in the same season, right? A.J. Jones, right? Like, and I think Breece Hall plus.
No, I don't think they both ran for 1,000, but A.J. Jones gotten close a couple times, though.
Yeah, but I think they both ran for 1,000 one year.
Yeah. I don't think they got close.
That might be the tape. All right, so there's no regard. I mean, Hackett sucks as a head coach, but I do think I am more on David's side that he is a decent head coach or a decent OC. Yeah. You don't have to be a great head coach to be a decent OC. Sorry, boys on the bottom, but Matt Nagy is perfect proof of that. Mm-hmm. He was a decent OC, but obviously didn't pull it up as a head coach. I understand Peng's point, but Peng, I'm sorry, I can't give Adam Gase credit for freaking cleaning the bottom of his shoes after stepping in dog shit.
Hey, still take a team to the playoffs. I mean, a bad team. That's
I-
way more than I could say for a lot of
I
other
do
guys.
think that there is a chance that Aaron Rodgers ends up in New York, just like this, but I don't think it's going to happen. There's just something telling me that, yeah, they pulled Hackett to try to get him. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen. I honestly am 100% on Bruni's take here, and that is Pat McAfee is going to get his way. Because
I would not do that.
that is
I would not do that
right
with
there.
Aaron Rodgers.
That right there is what it's going to look like.
Oh, just a heads up. By the way, you're right. It was not 1,000, but it was 1,000 scrimmage yards for 2 running backs.
Oh, gotcha. I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mike with the uploads.
I am curious what if Lamar goes to New York with Hackett? That'd be kind of an interesting pairing.
Lamar to Washington.
I think Lamar has a better chance of being
To Washington. Do you think so?
If Bezos ends up owning it, I say it's Lamar. If Bezos doesn't own it, it's going to be Tom Brady.
Is there someone else that's going to buy it?
Well, they're saying that at one point they were saying Bezos was out. And
Bezos is going to be selling the Washington Post. Probably.
No, that's not
Bezos
his
is trying to buy who you said?
succession. He's just moving the pieces around the board.
Yeah.
Bezos is trying to buy who you said?
The Commanders.
The Commanders, bro. We've talked about this. We've been
No, we
talking
have.
about
I just thought he was trying to buy some other team for a split second. No, you're right. You're right about that. Sorry.
Who, the Jets?
I just don't know why anyone would go to the Colts. I would go to the Colts if I
They
was
would
just
need to
going
make a move.
and
Like
lose.
they would
Because
need
that team
to
can't
go
win
get
shit.
busy in their receiver market.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let
So what
Okay,
if he?
good.
So anyways,
Kicked him out.
continuing this
Until
conversation.
he comes
So like,
back,
what if they sign like
Rooney,
Alan
yeah.
Lazard? You know, like Michael Pittman, Alan Lazard, and I don't know, someone else that's a friend of Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like,
Would he be
it's not
that
sexy?
Do you think he's going to move though for Alan Lazard though?
Pittman's
He's not Jordy
fucking
Nelson,
overrated
you
as
know?
hell. Pittman is the Alan Lazard of the Colts. Like,
Is he?
No, he's better
he's
than that.
always
I
going to be
would
a
say
2.
rich
As
man's
I was
Alan
reading the
Lazard
topic,
still.
as I was
He's a
reading the
rich man
topic,
Alan Lazard. He's always going to. He's a 2. That's all he is. Pittman's only going to be a 2. Anyone that comes into the league and expects him
just
to be
won 2.
1,500
Hold on,
yards
hold
is fucking high.
let's keep it moving.
I see a dog.
That's my.
That's it.
We're gonna get into Payne's team here. Tua Tagovailoa is still in NFL concussion protocols without, despite having already been through it for about a month now.
Oh, I can get straight to this for you, brother. He's in a coma protocol right now, so we're good. We can move on. Coma protocol. He's not coming. Fucking. I've never seen a player come back from the NFL from a
I
coma.
think you're just out when you're a coma. There's no protocol.
Yeah,
There's just
he's
a-
just
in
a
the
coma
state of-
protocol
hold
right now.
on.
Like
In-
I've seen
in-
guys
in
come
the
back
state
from
of-
cancer, guys come back from gaming, but no one's ever come back from coma protocol. I think guys come back from jail. I don't know. Tua's in coma protocol, man. I don't know what he's up to.
No, for real. Given the state of today's NFL, what's the future of Tua and the Miami Dolphins? He took some pretty bad ones this season.
Yeah.
Mike, go.
I think you brought this topic up just to troll me, but I do think he still has a future in the NFL. I do think he's going to get cleared. I think the concussion protocol is just a safety thing, especially because Miami is under the microscope still. They're still going to be under the microscope. I do think he's going to get cleared. I do think later in this offseason he will get cleared by medical. He will play next year. He's going to have to prove that he can come back. Obviously, if he gets dinged up again and he gets knocked out or whatever the case may be, I'm obviously not trying to throw injury on anyone, then we have another discussion. But until then, I do think he's the starter of the Miami Dolphins next year, and I do think that he will have a decent season as long as he stays healthy. God forbid.
I think Tua will eventually awaken from his coma. He'll probably be 40 pounds lighter. It's gonna be interesting.
Oh, God.
I'm just joking around, but I honestly don't know why he's in concussion protocol. You know what, to me, I think what ended up happening was they were out of the. And this is my theory. They were out of the playoffs, and someone forgot to check off that box that he's good. Like, oh shit, I forgot we're not competing anymore. Like, oh shit, we still got to do these medical things.
I think it's something similar to that. I
just forgot to do something. And it
I think it's more
surprised me.
purposeful because the organization was getting a lot of slack in the media about, oh, they didn't take care of their quarterback. They just threw him right back in right away. There was no concentration on player safety, et cetera, right? So I feel like they're just going to leave him there until like, yeah, we've checked every box. He's 100%. We've done our job. He's fine. And that'll be in like June. Like, and I just don't see them moving on from him just yet. I mean, unless some team picks up the phone and is just like, hey, our guy's available and you don't have to give up that much. Like, obviously the offense worked with him, and him and McDaniels have a good relationship. I see them being more focused on getting a competent backup in their lineup and on their team, because obviously Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater isn't going to cut it, right? Like they're going to have to get they're going to have to get, maybe another journeyman in there. I don't know. Maybe I don't even want to start out throwing out names. I was talking about maybe like Ryan Tannehill going there, but we'll see what happens.
Return. Hey guys.
But it's way too early to know. Like if they're not giving out any details, we're certainly not going to be able to build a case on anything whatsoever. So it's just a complete sit and wait situation. But I don't think he's anywhere from done. You know what I mean? Like, not to get too far off the boat here, but I've seen in other sports, like Sidney Crosby had cleared concussion protocol actually at one point, but he was still having like concussion symptoms for months on months. You know what I mean? So like this isn't a situation that is just like black and white. It's easy 1, 2, 3, yes or no. Like it's an individual case for everybody. So I think they're going to milk this thing for a long, long time.
So I think I got skipped, but for Tua, for me, I'm someone who I've had a couple concussions. I think I've had about 3 in my life. Ironically, I played football. Bro, you've had 3 as well? Oh, wow. And I played football for about 6 years. And ironically, I think I only got 1 concussion from football, and the other 2 were from just fucking around with friends.
Hey, Dave, I have a question for you.
What's that?
Have you ever gotten a concussion from a little rock?
A little rock? No. But it's not... What do you mean?
Robbie's mad at me now.
I had a snowboarding accident.
Robbie's a snowboarding escapade. That's right. He took one to the dome and took a little mini bud. L from that mini rock.
David, shut the fuck up. I have escapades with your girl. Keep playing with me. I'm kidding. I don't.
That was a low blow. I didn't mean to take the low blow with that.
No, that was low with me. I love you.
Love you too, buddy. No, with Tua though, the thing is, I think he needs to play it the way he wants to play it. Okay, it's up to him and only up to him. You do what you think is best for you. Honestly, if you think you can keep going on, I would say keep going on. If you don't, I totally get it. I think he can. If like in his situation, I'm inclined to believe that maybe he can keep going on, but not much longer. Like if he has a couple more concussions after this, I think it's like especially
Matt,
if he has 2 next year.
Matt, first hour of the show.
If he has 2 like concussions, let's just say next season, like it may be time to call it quits, like to play it safe.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think it's like either like another 1 or 2, like it is done. Like depending on how severe like the next one is, like another 2 for damn sure. I'm with you.
Exactly, because I don't want him to end up like Luke Kuechly, who had to retire and call it quits early because of those concussions, And he's a special quarterback. He's proven he can hold it down. And if I were the Dolphins, I would supply him with legitimate protection this offseason. You can't just have Teron Armstead on your left side of your offense line and just call it, we're good to go. Like you're not. You need more help on that offense line to keep him upright, to keep him protected so he's not slammed to the fucking turf every play. So that's what I say, because he's proven enough. He's the best deep baller in the game as of last year. That's of course with the help of Waddle and Hill, but still he showcased what he can do. Invest in his future for now if he wants to move forward. If not, then you adjust accordingly.
Taco, give me. What do you are you on the same page or?
Man,
what the fuck is he doing?
I think he was waiting for my take because I didn't get to go through mine really quick.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Kind of like.
You got kind of weird. I'll make it really fast. I think Tua's going to
first hour of the show. We broke down the games for this Sunday. Go ahead.
I was going to say Tua's just going to route to a second contract for sure. I guarantee you he gets a second contract somewhere. He's going to. It's life-changing money for his family, for next generation. There's no way he does it. Dolphins did a good job at actually building that O-line this year. I usually give crap to my team for that, but they actually did well this year for it. like how it ended up looking, but Robert Hunt played pretty well. I mean, they
Hunt
tried
was
to buy
decent.
Lyle Collins.
Mhm.
There's nothing you can do when you can't when the guy doesn't want to come to you,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right, like at the end of the day, they did what they could. I think the big issue right now is that Tua's been in his own head, and he's admitted he's been in his own head a lot. He's playing the deep ball when he shouldn't have to play the deep ball. He wants to prove a point. That guy has made more deep ball attempts than he ever should have this past 12 games he's played. You
But
see
he was
it a
still
lot.
the best in the league, though, at it. This year.
But here's the thing: when you're playing the deep ball and to top it off, you're not having the greatest offensive line. All you're doing is set yourself up to get hit.
Yeah,
And
you're right. You're right about
learn
that. You're 100%
something,
right about that.
right? And I remember I was watching them live. I'm just like, what the? I was at the games. I was watching every match. I'm just like, there's hella dudes open. But we got to go deep 14 times against Tyreek Hill for some reason. We have to, and I think a lot of that was just Tua in his own head. I think he's gonna figure it out. I think they're gonna get to the point where they get shorter. They started to get shorter towards the end of the season. They were throwing it more to the running backs. They were doing a little bit, gonna get less cute, and he's gonna have I won't say a long career at the rate this is going, but you're going to see him get a second contract. He's been in the league for now. So he's going to get a second contract somewhere, get paid out, and whether he finishes it or not, who knows? But there's no way that he's done now. He's so close to his second contract.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that. That's how I would do it if I was him. And he's going to do it that way because it's life-changing money.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, especially if, for like his family, back like on the in the Hawaii and shit. So yeah, I mean that is really, 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 really life-changing money.
Second contract for an NFL quarterback. Yeah. I would go out there with fucking 2 broken arms and a shot, like cut off dick. I don't give a fuck. That is some fucking money.
The head injuries scare me. I just want him to be safe, man, because it was
scary
last year.
We all want that, but he's gonna
yeah, but these are football players, like of any sport. Yeah. Like that's where you're gonna stand up for guys, and you're gonna go out and make your money, like you mentioned.
Though. Think about it. He's a Hawaiian descent football player. Like he's a Hawaiian descent. Mm-hmm. He's going to go out there and do something that makes sense for his culture. It's different when from that side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as not everything is as black and white on the surface as we tend to make them seem, especially when it comes.
And imagine if he doesn't finish it, it's gonna look so bad. People are gonna be all like, "Oh, see, like." Not to say people do this, but there's gonna be a thing to it. They're not gonna say, "Oh, he couldn't hold up like the white and black players." Got a lot going for him that he has to complete.
Damn. Fuck those people. Fucking
Turbo. I think he likely goes to the Commanders. To answer your question, Turbo, I think it's likely a Commanders thing, honestly. It just seems like some shit we would do. Mike, you have anything you want to add?
No, Taco needs to go. We went the other way.
Taco, anything you want to add?
Taco, and then you.
I have nothing to add.
I'm worried about this kid's long-term health here. Like, he's still been in this protocol since the end of the season, basically. He's not even going to be able to participate in the Pro Bowl. And I don't know if that's just out of an abundance of caution or if it's just that this kid's at this point in his career where it's like, between his younger years in high school and college and how many times has he really had a concussion? Like how many injuries has he really had? I don't know that for sure, but it's something you really have to look at because he shouldn't be having this many. Like, I mean, we remember some of the plays that he had. He just dropped. Like, Steelers game, that one he was just done.
What was the one where he was like straight up knocked out?
Is that against the Bengals?
That was the first one.
Yeah, I traded Tyreek Hill way too fast after that. Unfortunately,
they fucking wrecked his
bro.
Shit,
it was scary what happened to this dude. Yeah. And the fact that he came back and he played and he's playing through it, like I commend him. He cares about his team, but at the end of the day, when you look 20 years down the road, like your quality of life is something that you really need to value because, you can go on an award tour and you can go on ESPN and make a good life. Look at Jay Williams. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's been done. Yeah. It happens. But make sure that you value your life enough though in this situation because you don't want to end up becoming like, mentally
Antonio Brown
down the road because, you took too many hits and you ended up having a problem. So that's the biggest thing I worry about. And like I can't even think about anything else. Like it's just a really scary situation. They really need a thorough diagnosis, and then from there, he still needs to weigh it because what happens when you get another one? Let's say you get two more. What the heck happens?
I don't want to see him, and I swear this is just coincident. I want to bring his name up because they're both Pacific Islander, but I don't want to see him end up like Junior Seau. Like that's terrifying, So he's got to play it right, he's got to toe the line with it.
Like, bro, go to college.
Yeah, there's definitely a line. I feel like there's definitely a line that you toe with something like this. We don't know what that is yet from a medical standpoint, and none of us here are medical specialists, at least to my motherfucking knowledge. So I mean, that's it. I feel like that's where we'll try to like cut that one. Let's get into. I think I'm gonna cut out one topic for now, and we're gonna get into final take really quick with some UFC. And I'll save the other topic for next week. Just move it to next week's show.
I think that one's gonna be quick though. I think it's an easy one.
Rapid fire, baby.
All right. Well, we'll make it really quick.
We'll do this quickly.
Rapid fire, speed round for this one topic. Derrick Henry is now age 29. What do you think his value is in dynasty? Running backs, obviously a dying commodity from the fantasy football standpoint. What would you trade for him in a dynasty league? Or are you just going to rock it till the wheels fall off and then draft the next best thing?
Taco.
Mike,
or me? Okay. I tried
trading him. Play dynasty, so
all right. I tried trading him away in the regular season this year, and I wasn't able to get. I wanted a first and a player. That wasn't happening. With the age of 29 now, I think that he is only going to go for a pick. As you know, Robbie, in the league that I'm in a startup right now, Henry is going later than I thought. I never thought that a guy, the captain of the ship sitting next to me on the screen, would have picked Nick Chubb over Derrick Henry, but it happened. And that proves to me that people are going to start just letting him, are going to hold him because they're not going to get what they think they should get. So they're going to end up holding him and letting the wheels fall off.
Go ahead, Payne.
I traded him for mid end of the season to someone that was on a contender for a first. I think it ended up becoming a mid. I think in the long run, I think that's what he's worth is a late first. If not, you do ride him, and then worst case scenario, he hasn't had his tread used up quite a bit, but he's also built a little bit better than most. I think you could ride him. I wouldn't trade like a mid second for him. I feel like what are you going to get?
David, anything that you want to add?
Yeah, I'm convinced this dude ain't even a real person. He's just a bionic man. And because of that, I'm riding him till the fucking wheels fall off, honestly. He's such an athletic freak of nature. He didn't show any signs of slowing down this year. He still ran for 1,500 fucking yards this year. So absolutely ride him till the wheels fall off. He'll be trucking guys. People will be continuing to ping pong off him like this year. Who was it that he stiff armed against the Bills again? Or
Josh Norman.
This year too. I think it was. I forgot who it was, but he stiffed armed another Bills player this year.
And it's going to continue to fucking happen.
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, it was great. So I'm going to ride him for sure.
Till the wheels fall off. I traded as a contender for him this year. Long story how I didn't make it. All I can say is don't allow trades in your dynasty playoffs. My God. But I traded for him.
Derrick Henry is a cure in The Last of Us.
Raj, we miss you, buddy. We miss you. Come back.
I like that.
We miss you.
Yeah, till the wheels fall off. You really gotta wow me in a trade to get him off my roster. Probably top 6 or 7 pick. Which most won't do.
Durant, for now, I'm gonna say that he stays to answer your question. Taco, you have anything that you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be really hard to get equal value for Henry. So it really depends on where you're at in your league. Like, if you're in a team that's going for it, you hold on to him and you ride it till the wheels fall off. But if you're in a situation where you're trying to fade and go dive, then you maybe trade him and package him with something else in order to get some elite prospects back, and just say, hey, maybe I do a two for picks.
So the way this question came up, one of the homies, I'm not gonna call him out, but threw out a question in a group chat, and he's like, "Yo, like, what are we thinking?" And like the minds at B, kind of started getting to work. The overall, what I was kind of preaching, what I was saying, kind of really became the consensus in that group chat. All in all, the kind of say is, if you can get this is the perfect time to jump off, but this is also the perfect time to make the decision that if you're gonna fucking ride the wheels off till they fall off, then you do it. You are not wrong either way. But if you can get a late first or a mid first or a top end second and a player, then motherfucker, you do it. If you can put yourself in a position to win, there is never nothing, as long as the package is right and the deal is right. If that's a piece that got you a fantasy championship, there's nothing wrong with unloading that piece and making your team and balancing your team even stronger. There's checks and balances to everything. If there's an area that you were weak and you just so happen to win a championship by the skin of your motherfucking teeth, unloading a 29-year-old fucking running back isn't a bad idea, especially if you're going to come away with a late first or a mid first, or either a top end second. And maybe with either of those picks, you're getting another player in exchange. I've said this many of times. It's about roster construction. You do not need RB1 no one builds a fucking fantasy roster with nothing but ones. Never in the history of fucking fantasy football has anyone built a fantasy roster with QB1, RB1, wide receiver 1. Like, it's just never happened. It's never happened. It's never happened. You need balance.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what it takes to balance your roster out with him, this is the type of time that you do it. Make the decision. For me, some leagues I will stay put. Others, it's time to abandon ship, baby.
I'm surprised you're saying this. I'm surprised you're saying this, but I'm proud of you.
I'm a fucking fantasy analyst, bro. I'm about this.
I thought you were taking him on our startup draft.
Lamar's going to be interesting. We're going to be discussing Lamar as that one develops. That'll definitely be brought up probably next week on next week's show. We do have one more topic to wrap up here. We'll go just slightly overboard.
He's wrong.
We're gonna go slightly over the time here, but we're gonna be able to fit this one in. We just want to switch it up and give you guys that brand new flavor in your ear. UFC, Rumboyz UFC. More importantly, we're gonna be bringing back the play-by-plays here ever so shortly post Super Bowl, coming to a spring season near you, spring-ish, I guess you could say. UFC, a bunch of fights have been announced today. So obviously I want to know what fights you guys are looking forward to the most, of course. But there's one that we're all really looking for, and that's towards the return of John Jones.
I don't know. I'm really looking forward. Oh, sure.
Tacos, oh shit!
I got so hyped. I'm hyped for this one.
But obviously we're all hyped for John Jones versus Surreal Gain. Give us a quick hitter take. We're going to discuss this more in depth in later episodes. Give us your quick hitter take on just the whole return of Jones thing, and what fight you're looking forward to next in these final. I'll give us hopefully let's see if we can do this in 10-ish minutes. Go.
Taco.
Taco.
I'm looking forward to Volk versus Islam. I think that's going to be a crazy fight, especially since I believe it's Volk that's going up in weight class.
Yep.
Islam has been hailed as a monster. What he did to Oliveira was ridiculous. I think that Volk is an absolute beast. He's a number one pound for pound. This is going to be an intense matchup. There's going to be no Khabib in his corner, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Islam. I already heard that Volk saying, "Don't make this as an excuse when I take you down." I love Volk's tenacity. I love his game set, so I think that's going to be a great match. That's one of the ones that's coming up next as well. So for me, I'm super hyped for that one. As far as John Jones, I mean, let's face it. For me personally, I've been an Israel Adesanya fan. I've been more of a John Jones hater, but respect should be given where respect is due. And John Jones is one of the best that ever did it. So for him to come into the ring right now, and with the amount of title defense that he has on his belt, and with him going in this match with Cyril Gane, I just think about him as being arrested. Killer. He's a killer. And he trained. He worked with Cejudo. He did a couple of things, and he's going to be. I think he's going to be in the right mindset, and I think he's going to be out there looking like John Jones. And I don't see Cyril Gane being much of an issue for him. But yeah, it's going to be John Jones for the victory, and then it's going to be Jones versus Miocic. That's going to be the fun one. That's the fun one. This is the warm up.
Okay. What you got, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the answer is definitely Jones and Gane. I mean, I'll take John Jones in that one. Give me the big brains, more experience, just his history of his fight history. Yeah, it's an easy one. Not getting too deep into it, and I like Usman and Edwards in March as well.
Okay. Leafs. Wow, when you bring that one up, Leafs drops that one. About Usman and Edwards. That one's going to be interesting. It's always interesting when a fighter has the opportunity to get the leg back. David.
So I don't know shit about UFC, so I'm just going to defer to you guys. Honestly, I'll
take his airtime.
Hey, you want to win some fucking money, yo? That's where.
Okay, if
we
John
both hit big on our UFC card last week.
If he lays off the coke and he lays off the roids, then I'll go with him. Okay.
I'll take the rest of his airtime. Pang, go ahead.
The drug.
Just nice to know that someone that's been in the business as long as him, like from when I started watching UFC or kept watching UFC to when I stopped and he's back. Props to him. I'll leave it at that. I don't follow anymore, but his name is synonymous for such a long time, right? He's the only person I can think of that's more popular than Anderson Silva at his peak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So props to him there.
Mike.
All right, let's start with this John Jones Gane thing. I want to bring up the damn New Yorker in the corner for a second. First, he gives for 2 straight weeks. He talks so much shit and gives me, Robbie, all this crap about John Jones being the GOAT, and then he just says, "No, let me talk." Then you just sat there right now and said he's one of the best ever to live. Make up your mind and have some conviction, mofo. Okay, for this fight, when it comes with those two, I think Gane has a chance, but I do think John Jones is going to win. My favorite fight that I can't wait to see, Taco, you already brought it up, because it's a fight that hasn't even been announced yet. And that is, if John Jones can beat Cyril Gane, which I think he will, but if that goes the way it should, Stipe and John Jones, fight of the year, and give me
4th of July.
And give me Stipe all year long.
Is Stipe?
I heard Stipe was bulky.
Wouldn't he fight Ngannou?
Ngannou left the UFC.
Yeah.
He's just done?
That's Miocic, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Stipe Miocic will beat John Jones and be one of the fights of the year. But
that's going to be a great
That's a hot take. I don't know much about UFC, but that's a hot take.
Stipe's the heavyweight GOAT.
Stipe was the champ. Yeah.
He's good. He's very good.
Out of all the fights that have been announced, I do agree with Bruni, but the one that I'm looking forward to the most isn't even a title fight, and it was announced today. I want to see Gilbert Burns versus the BMF and Jorge Masvidal.
Oh, they announced that today?
Give me that fight all day long.
That's awesome.
Which card is that?
I didn't hear about that. That's awesome.
I don't think that Masvidal can hang.
What card is that on?
Doesn't matter. It'll be exciting build up. That's the good stuff we get from him.
Izzy and Pereira. They got announced today too.
I don't think
they're in part 2.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Yeah, damn. Hang on, shit, Mike.
No, he asked. I just answered
I
the
don't
question.
care. Fuck. Wait. Shit. He could also be looking in the chat. Yeah. Fuck.
I've been at work all day, motherfucker.
So yes, that's what I was gonna fucking say for my goddamn take.
Go.
You still can. No one said it was not their favorite.
Izzy Pereira is my fight of the year. Or what the fight that I'm most excited for. That fight was electric. It was a bad stoppage. And it's time for Izzy to get his lick back. He dominated that man for 4 fucking rounds. Like was whooping his ass. Cool. You're able to sometimes, yes, that's all it takes is getting a lucky shot. Cool. You're able to get a lucky shot. That catches up to you at some point. There's a reason why Izzy's been in the UFC and you're just kind of like being like the new hot thing. You were brought in to do a job. Cool. You did your job. Let the king come back and reign supreme. So that's the one for me. As far as John Jones and Gane, here's where I stand on it. One fight can sway me when it comes to John Jones. I was a fan until the fucked up shit started coming. The drugs and the steroids and the cheating. If he can win this, and if he can win this clean while being clean, you do a couple fucking bumps, you feel like goddamn Superman. Of course, you're not feeling someone hitting you out there goddamn fucking face. You're fucking juiced up, and someone's fucking injecting with that with the roid rage. No, you're not feeling shit, and you're also dispensing a lot more fucking tenacity. It's different. If he can win this one and win this one clean against a fighter like Gane, cool. Yeah, I'll give him that. But no, you lose this. No, the whole time though, that whole run, that was just you being fucked up. Lance Armstrong didn't come back to fucking say. Most people that try and come back after steroids,
yeah, it's tough, very tough.
I mean, he is going up a weight class.
You know what I think of this as?
A whole new body, and he's
doesn't matter if you're the GOAT, like you said.
Yeah, if he's the GOAT, it shouldn't matter.
John Bones Jones is so legendary.
Remember, Jordan came back with the Warriors.
He didn't look good when he beat Gustafsson. Physically, he didn't look cut. He just added a ton of weight, and just whooped the shit out of him.
But if he does come back in dramatic fashion, I feel like he'll be revered and as forgiven, even more so than remember when A-Rod came back from steroids, from the suspension, people kind of forgave him a little bit, it'll be even more
winning
so.
Winning creates forgiveness. This is true. Yes, winning creates forgiveness.
Exactly.
I honestly don't care about the steroids.
I do. I don't like it.
I do. I do. For me, it is a thing.
It's like baseball. Let him take steroids. I don't give a fuck.
Dude, that's so dangerous to be fucking around with steroids. They're so fucking dangerous for you.
Dude, that shit is
That's
so
on them.
good.
That's their problem. That's their healthcare package, not mine.
Yeah, but I don't want to be it's like gladiators fighting to the death. I don't want to feel good about someone dying out there just to, hit some fucking home runs.
What are you talking about? We didn't stop watching football. DeMar Hamlin almost died on a football field. We'd be watching football the next week. I mean, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but we wonder if that was the cause of it, or was it just a previous existing condition? You don't know.
No,
it wasn't the cause of it. He got hit. He didn't get up.
No, we found out that it was.
Was it Commotio cordis? Is that what it was?
It was the timing.
And the heartbeat.
That's a freak accident. This is not self-producing illegal drugs we're taking here. I mean, it's different.
Yeah, that was a freak accident.
Yeah. They're illegal because we say they're illegal. That's it. I mean, again, I'm not being super serious, release the steroids to all athletes everywhere. I'm just saying, it's
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously it's dumb. It shows a lack of maturity. But what I see him in the ring, I see, or the octagon, I should say, I see a mature fighter. I see an intelligent fighter. Like, I just don't think that Gane has enough tools in the shed to go on the attack on him other than just landing a clean one and burying him.
Win, though.
Yep.
What's
I
that?
agree.
We haven't seen this man fight and God knows when. Like, and ring rust is a real thing.
Okay, ring rust is a real thing, but who the fuck is gonna beat John Jones?
I don't think
It's
he
not-
has
it's
not
not
been
like
in a
the
ring.
regular
Like, these
himself.
It's
these
John
dudes live in
fucking
rings.
Jones.
Like that's what he does, and he has way too much experience.
Yeah,
stand up
his
on
ring
his
rust is
back.
still fucking Hall of Fame.
Like he could take
What
his
if he-
fight any which way he wants, and I feel like he's going to come out probably, and he's going to be kind of an asshole to start.
Yeah,
he's
I think he's kind of mad. He's
gonna
like,
probably
y'all
play
forgot
with him a
about
little
me.
bit.
Like you must have forgot who I am. This is kind of like the who I am fight for John. I feel like he's
And
gonna
if
come
Gane
out
loses
angry.
this fight, it's
He's
not
gonna
that
be
big a
throwing
deal
those
for him.
bows. He's gonna use those elbows real nasty.
The press
real
conferences,
wicked.
it'll be interesting as the press conferences ante up, and as we watch those, because that'll start, and then where the money starts to go. Obviously, the money is gonna go. What's
to
dangerous
Jones.
about this? What's dangerous about this is betting wise.
Are there odds
is
out?
that-
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
think they
believe
were
so.
about even last I saw.
Yeah,
-1
what's
to allow.
dangerous about this is that you know that the casual money is automatically gonna rush for the people that don't follow UFC, but when they realize, oh, it's fight night at my local bar and John Jones is fighting, let me go open up a DraftKings account. That money's about to sway towards Jones real
That's
quick.
because he's the people's
Gone
champ.
at plus
apparently.
105 on DraftKings.
The people's champ, huh, Robbie?
Popular fighter, that's what it is. People's champ or not, it's always the name value.
I said it
Walk
earlier,
into
man.
your local bar,
absolutely.
John Jones fighting,
No one's sitting around watching
He
5
cheated.
fights
He
from
cheated.
each guy.
He cheated. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It
I
is
wonder
what
if they're
it
gonna.
is.
I wonder if they're gonna treat him like the Baseball Hall of Fame does, where they just don't like really commemorate a lot of the guys who use roids. If the UFC is gonna do the same thing to him, you know, and when it's all said and done, I don't know.
But this could determine that. Like honestly, if he gets if he ends up losing it,
Could be, yeah.
If he loses it, then it could be like, yeah, no, we can't sit back and reward this type of shit. Like, look at the way that the UFC has pretty much treated TJ Dillashaw. Like,
Oh, was he busted for roids and stuff like that too, or
Yeah,
something?
he had a 2-year.
Oh.
He had a 2-year suspension.
Oh shit, Jesus!
and then
back
even when he
on
came
Fight
back,
Night.
yep, and then when he came back, he lost. And like the UFC, they don't roll out like the promos and the press like like they used to.
All right, I got a question. All right, so since Gilbert is going to be fighting Masvidal, which is going to be its own little mini mega fight between the two of them, who is going to then end up fighting Colby Covington? Because I was hearing that it was going to be Bilal, but that also does set up Kazmat, and then
Masvidal's done with that.
Yeah.
No. Masvidal's fighting Burns. But I'm saying now, who's Colby going to fight? Is it going to be Bilal? Is it going to be Kazmat?
No, Bilal Dariush is probably going to be fighting Oliveira.
Yeah. Oliveira's back tat, by the way, sick.
Yeah, Oliveira's probably fighting Bilal Dariush.
Dude Bronx is about to win some fucking fights this year.
That's my dude.
But who fights Colby Covington?
I have no idea.
Don't care.
I really don't give a crap anymore.
Yeah, don't care.
Oh, come on. I like to see his ass get beat. Oh my god. And he is a fucking warrior.
I hate Colby.
Yeah, but still, he's holding up the division. Because then who goes next after Leon and Usman?
He's not holding up the division at all because he's not the champ. He's not holding up the division. They'll skip him
the next spot up after this Leon and Usman. It's going to be probably him.
They'll just step right over him if he's.
I'll tune in to watch Usman beat the shit out of him. I guess. I mean, whatever. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I got no problem with that.
He's not taking that fight because he knows if he takes another fight and loses, he gets one step away from being in the title fight. Right now, the way it's set up, he's probably next in line for the title fight.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he's.
We're
so
waiting on that one. I think they're going to wait on that one. That's one that Dana's holding in his back pocket for now.
Right.
He
beat Jorge Masvidal, who he knows like pretty well. Masvidal, not a very disciplined fighter, and then before that, he beat Tyron Woodley. Like, come on, like
Oh, Burns. I want Burns.
Hey,
very
so did
much.
Jake Paul now. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not impressed. You know what I mean?
God,
Like,
let's not go there.
and then before that was, I think, Robbie Lawler. Like, come on, come on.
All right, gentlemen. Anyone have any final words or thoughts? No, I don't.
Well, good. Hell of a
Yeah.
show, though.
Chase anytime, TD.
Yes.
Oh, wait, I got one question for Mike. How
Hurts
many
over
shots
1.5
deep are you right now?
Stop. What was that, David?
No, I was asking him, how many shots deep are you right now, Mike?
I don't think he's had a glass. I
Are
think
you
it's
double
just,
digits yet? Yeah.
No,
he's just chugging that motherfucker.
just finishing the bottle.
Yeah.
He knows
Polishing
that
thing off.
Yo, Mike
like
is on
this
some
much.
shit. I haven't even done that. I haven't done that in a hot minute.
4 fingers.
Well, that was you like 3 weeks ago now. Come on.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's a hot minute for me.
I let Robbie know I was having a rough day, and Robbie's like, "All right, I'll see what's going on." And
Dog,
then
I had a fucking rough day too.
But I don't think he realized this is what was coming.
Yeah, I had a rough day too, and clearly it's not fucking stopping.
Do it, and I got the video. Go.
Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls. What it do, dilly dilly. I love it. I appreciate you. Let's get out of here.
Peace out.